And welcome to another live game watch and reaction. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Buckeye Boggs, aka the Podfather. That's the Wild Man, back in the saddle again, Chris. It's been forever since we've done a game together, dude.
Yes.
A long time. And I'm actually excited to do the game today. Oh boy, Chris. No Ted Ginn Jr. on the sideline today for the Aviators. They are without their head coach, who was arrested for a DUI down in Texas yesterday. And so, offensive coordinator Todd Haley takes over as head coach until further notice. So, he's going to be doing double duties today, being the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Kind of feels like you got your arms tied behind your back a little bit here, doesn't it?
You might think that in most cases, Eric, but I don't necessarily think so here. And this is why. I mean, Todd Haley is a guy with NFL experience. He has been a coach. He was a coach, I know personally, I know with the Browns. But he has spent time with several organizations in the NFL. And to me,
Yeah, Kansas City head coach there.
Kansas
Yeah.
City head coach for a short time. Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who has some head coaching experience. I'm not real worried. In fact, I don't want to say curious, but I really am. I'm curious to see if this team actually functions better under Todd Haley than it has so far under Ted Ginn Jr.
um, Maybe. I mean, the experience is important. Listen, the Aviators are on the bottom of the barrel right now.
Yes,
0
they
and
are.
2. Louisville, after losing the other day, is 0 and 3. They do not want to continue this winless streak here at the beginning. A win today over a team that is 2 and 0 and really looks like the best team in all of UFL. If they could go into their house and pull out a giant upset today, and let's not kid ourselves, it would be a massive upset.
Massive.
If they can do that, it completely resets everything, not only for the Aviators, but for the entire UFL in general. And the hottest quarterback in the entire league right now is Austin Reed, who leads the Renegades there in
Yes.
Dallas with a 308 passing yards per game, 308. That is going to be key. Getting pressure on him, making him
Mhm.
uncomfortable, trying to force him into making some mistakes. That is going to be, in my opinion, the biggest part of this football game.
And we did see the show I covered last week. We did see actually Columbus was able to get a little pressure at times. Um, we've definitely got some horses in there that can do it, Eric. But these horses are going to have to play like thoroughbreds today against this team if they want to come out here with a win.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I think that makes a lot of sense that they're going to have to. They're going to need a lot of things to go in their favor.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about
Absolutely.
it. If you're joining us, we appreciate you guys doing so right now. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. Make sure that you are giving us some good feedback. Vader's in the chat right now. Eli Edits, good to see you from the 335. He says, "Let's go." Good to have you with us as well. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel as we continue to grow our Aviators option here for you on the OHIO podcast. Let me go ahead and share this link real fast on our Facebook page as well, so we can get that out there to everybody. So we will go ahead and share that so people can watch us. And we'll be giving you guys live stats during the game, a little play-by-play as well. All of that coming to you this morning as we get started here. So 0-2 to start the season.
Yeah.
I was hoping we would win that first game because I don't think Orlando is necessarily a very strong football team. Despite the fact they're 3-0,
3-0. Yeah.
I still don't think they're that strong of a football team. I think Columbus probably beats them if we play them in Columbus. But beyond that, the thing about the Aviators is they have really shot themselves in the foot. Early turnovers, they get in a hole. They have moved the ball offensively. The problem is they just can't stop anybody defensively. And we are getting ready. Here we go. Eric's going to call the action for you. Kickoff, Columbus is going to be getting the ball first. Kickoff goes out of bounds So the Aviators are going to get the football, I believe, on the 40-yard line. So terrible kick for the Renegades to start this off. Can Columbus get a lead early for the first time this season?
That's going to be a key, Eric. It really is because they fall behind, and that's where they get in trouble.
Yep. So don't make stupid mistakes. That's number one. We don't want to see any more stupid mistakes. Jalen McClendon at quarterback, start number 3. He was 4-2 last year as a starter. So far 0-2. Got a 62.2 completion percentage. Not bad. He's used his feet effectively. We were questioning whether he would be healthy for this game after the hellacious hit he took at the end. He's got one receiver to the top, one to the bottom. He sends a man in motion to the bottom, and there's a fake handoff. Nice little pass to the tight end, who was in over the middle of the field. Nice little slant to the tight end, and Columbus is off and running with a 6-7 yard pass to start off. So they are almost to midfield already, Chris.
That's a great start, Eric. That's what we need. We need to get off to a fast start.
2nd and a long 2 is what they're calling on the television screen. 2 receivers to the top. White goes in motion in the backfield. He's going to be looking over the middle again. Nice little pass, and we have a first down on a nice little up and over route by the wide receiver. That is Chisholm with the catch. And the Aviators are 2 for 2 in the air. First down, cross midfield, and we are rolling. Getting over my head cold here still, Chris.
That's great. Whoop. Get the volume down here.
Doing much better.
I got my feet up, and I'm good to go. I wanted to get something a little bit bigger here.
Nice. There you go. All right, first down. We're going deep, taking a shot deep. One-on-one coverage, out of bounds, incomplete. Well covered defensively there by the Renegades. I noticed yesterday Garyon Conley for the DC Defenders.
Pick 6.
A nice little pick 6. And he said immediately after doing that, while he was gasping for air, I am old.
Well, Garyon, I know the feeling.
30 years old, Garyon Conley. Just wait till you're in your mid-40s, buddy. 2nd down and 10, ball on the Renegade side of the field on the 46. Try to get a chunk of change here. Will this be the first run of the game? It is. Nice little carry to the left. Nice hole. Hits the hole hard. Gets about 5-6 yards. Going to set up a 3rd and manageable. Nice carry there by Lovett. Lovett? What is
Love it.
Love it?
Yep.
I love it. All right. 3rd and 4. Play clock quickly moving here. Just over 10 seconds left on the play clock. Big 3rd down. First 3rd down of the game for the Aviators. Now they have to go for four downs
this
here.
side of the 50. So
yep, we're going to hand it off. We're going out to the right. Aviators got away with a hold there.
I think it's going to be close, Eric.
It's going to be close. Might be a yard shy, maybe.
Well, and I'll tell you, I noticed this last week when I was watching. The spots in these games are really weird.
Yeah, there's a hold right there, big time on the outside by
there
the
is
number 88, the tight end.
Mac. 88, yeah.
Yeah. They didn't call it. She didn't call it. Sets up a 4th and less than 1. No tush push. This is a quarterback keeper here all day long, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And Columbus is going to take a timeout. So Ty Haley says, I'm not liking the way they're lined up defensively with the play we called there. So let's talk about it. Big 4th down. Reason why this is big so early in the game, just like we talked about, Chris. Columbus has not had a lead yet. They have been playing from behind for 8 quarters this season. Need to take advantage of that, to say the least.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that Haley's trying to get in, he is trying to get in front of this thing early. He is trying to keep this drive going. He's trying to get on the scoreboard first. I watched that bits of that DC game yesterday, and how about their kicker, Matt McCain? Oh my goodness, that guy is automatic. Can we get this kid to come back to Ohio State?
Yeah, you got any eligibility left there?
I'm telling you, he's got what, 3 4-point kicks on the season, I think it is.
4th and short. Here we go. Big 4th down. Columbus got a pretty big offensive line, man. Well over 300 pounds all the way across the board. These are body movers. Let's see if they can shoot off the ball here. Handoff up the middle. Nice hold to the left. That's going to be a first down and give them about 4 or
And
5 yards
yeah,
more.
keep those
Love it
legs
again.
churning. I'll tell you, I've noticed we use a lot of backs in our system.
We do.
You know, and I wonder, does that give any one back the opportunity to really get things going?
Well,
mean,
I mean,
that's
you can make the argument it keeps them fresh, but
it does.
But I see your point too. Some backs they want to get into the rhythm of the game. Three
Exactly.
receiver set to the bottom of the screen, tight end at the top with the single receiver. Ball on the left hash, fake handoff, and we're looking deep again. He avoids the rush, still got his eyes
Nice.
downfield. That ball's bobbled around, almost intercepted, but there is a flag on the play. Looks like
Got there a
defensive
little
pass
early, I think,
interference.
Eric. He got there just a little bit early.
That ball hung up there after it bounced off of the receiver defensive back like it was going to be intercepted by the safety, but there is a flag on the play here, and I'm guessing this is pass interference.
And Eric, that's why he's a safety and not a receiver.
There you go, right? And indeed it is. First down, Columbus, pass interference by number 24 of the Renegades. He asked what I did wrong. Well, Wade, you were there too early. 11:21 to go in the first quarter. No score. 2-0 Dallas hosting 0-2 Columbus there. Not very many fans in the stands, I noticed, at all for this one.
Yeah.
These 12 noon games, I'm not so sure about that. First and goal from the 11.
Well, here's the thing. I know we are not fans of the 12 noon games, Eric. I mean, so
Well, and it's 11 their time.
And I was gonna say it's 11 in Dallas.
Yeah. Handoff again to the left. That's 3 straight carries there on the left side of that offensive line. Well, we'll give them 2 yards. It'll set up a second down and 8 from the 9-yard line. They can get another fresh set of downs if they can get the football to the 1. Second and 7. They gave him 3 on that. McClendon in the shotgun looking left. He throws left. That ball's caught. Broken tackle. Did we get him in?
He's close. He's there.
Love it.
I think he's there.
Love it. They gave him the score. And Columbus is on the board first for the first time this season. Throwing to the back out of the backfield, spins. He stays in bounds. Absolutely. That's a touchdown all day long, Chris.
Absolutely.
Good feet. Kept them in bounds. Spun out of the tackle. Stayed in bounds. Little pirouette there. Nice job. Columbus is on the board first. Huge score for the Aviators. The first time this season they have jumped out on their opponent scoring on the first drive. And now Cole goes for the extra point here. Cole the kicker, as we call him. Going for 1. Snap is down. Kick is up. It's 7-0 Columbus. There we go. Huge score to start the game off.
Yes, absolutely great. They get out in front early. Let's see what they do with it. Let's see how they play with the lead. I mean, that's going to be something.
Well, we haven't seen them do that all season long, so who knows?
Can they protect it now?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's head on over to the chat. We've got Nick, NIKHIL GQ6WX. Ohio State would win in the UFL. Maybe.
I don't know that I disagree with that.
I don't know though, Chris. Come on, man.
Guys, let's face it. These guys that are in the UFL were all college players. A lot of them were Division I college players. A lot of these guys, you know, and let's talk about what happened with Indiana last year in the national championship. A lot of these guys are grown men as opposed to the boys who are coming into college. And yeah, I know these guys are young men who are coming into college, but there's a huge difference between 18, 19, 20 and 24 through 28. Physically, maturity-wise, big difference. So, you know, you look, that same type of mentality worked for Indiana last year bring in a bunch of older, mature players, and they let them do a national title. So we can't just assume that Ohio State, even with all their talent, is going to go in and just beat up UFL teams.
No, I mean this is a completely different ball of wax, guys. Um,
And they play by different rules. Let's not
they
forget that
they
either.
although they are closer to college rules than they are I mean it's a good mix of both, right?
Yes.
I think it's a good mix of both because you got the kickoffs that are very much the NFL now. You've got but you only have to keep one foot in bounds for a catch, which is college like. So there's that aspect of it too. So there's some interesting things going on there. 186 subscribers when we started this a couple weeks ago. We had 141 after the first game, Chris. So we've gained a few subscribers. We appreciate that
I didn't
very
completely kill
much.
the channel while you were off. Woo-hoo!
No, you did fine, man. And unfortunately, you had to do it by yourself too. That was
Well,
sure that
then we
was an
got hit with another
experience.
tornado that night.
You and them tornadoes, I'll
And
tell you.
it was another case where we actually had one on the ground and my internet started getting shaky. It's like, okay, it's probably time to go at this point.
Did you cut it off a little
I
early?
cut it off about 5 minutes early, maybe.
I don't blame you.
And it was an ugly game. And I thought, you know what? Ugly game. Let's get everybody huddled in place just in case. And thankfully, it stayed north of us, but not by much.
Well, I'm putting together the first graphic of this game, Chris.
Well,
So
and if I've seemed a little distracted, excuse me for that. I've actually been on the I've been chatting with a former Buckeye who's saying he's willing to come on the podcast with us.
cool. Are you allowed to share who that might be?
Um, yeah, it's Raymont Harris.
The Quiet Storm. Speaking of tornadoes,
Yeah, he and I have been chatting here on Facebook this morning, and he has agreed to come on with us, and we're just going to iron out a time here later, and we'll get that all worked out.
awesome, dude. That's awesome. All right, let me add this graphic, and then we're going to jump right back into the play-by-play here. But we want to make sure that everybody's updated on what the score is. So let me throw this in here real quick.
Yeah, we're up. We're winning. We want you to know.
Yeah, this is this is a monumental thing right now. There we go, Chris. Bam. All right. All right, kick is off. Dallas is returning. They only get to the 29-yard line before he's tackled by the Aviators, and out comes the number one quarterback after 2 weeks of play in the UFL. We're
The
playing in
National
soccer
Soccer
stadiums.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I would not look at Dallas and think that that should be the home of the soccer
No,
Hall of
I'm
Fame.
feeling like, well, it's a National Hall of Fame for soccer, and soccer. It took a while for it to really take hold in the U.S.
Close to Mexico, I guess maybe. Man in
Perhaps.
motion. It's going to be a full receiver set. They're going to run the football to the right. The Aviators defensively all over it. No gain.
Nice.
Second down. So a lot of pre-snap eye candy there for the defense to try to adjust to. Obviously, they understand they're going to have to win a lot of one-on-ones with this offense. And that's really what Austin Reed and this Renegade uh, offense has been able to do through the first 2 weeks is put the receivers in a lot of really good one-on-ones against the defense, and Reed has just put the ball right on the money. This time he's under center. It's going to be a fake. He then looks back, and there's a nice little comebacker by the wide receiver. Give him 11 yards and a first down for the Renegades, and that's just it.
Seemed like a lot of cushion there, Eric.
Well, and that's just it. I think Columbus is going to give them that cushion. I don't think Columbus is going to try and do a lot of blitzing here. He'll burn you. I mean, look at this set. I mean, that's old school college ball. Breaks the tackle. Only a 1 yard gain.
Didn't
That was
fool the defender, but man, should have had him in the backfield. That's bad tackling.
bad tackling. Gets a yard when it should have been a loss of 2, setting up a 2nd and 9. But again, that's just college ball right there. Throw 3 receivers down there, hit the back receiver, let the front 2 block for you. A lot of quick snaps, a lot of pre-snap motion stuff from this offense that you're going to see today from Dallas, trying to create those mismatches. This is a big defensive line game for Columbus. They're going to have to win the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 9. Drops back again, throws it over the middle to the running back. He's going to get 7 yards. It's going to set up, 6 is going to set up a 3rd and 3 now for the Renegades. Not quite the midfield. Not quite. So they don't have
That's
to
key.
go for it on 4th down
Yeah.
if they don't get it. But this is a 3rd and short here. 3rd and short. First 3rd down of the game for Dallas. Let's see if Columbus can get off the field here. Now they're coming up on the press defensively against these receivers, Chris. 1 safety back. 1 high safety back. And here comes the blitz. And no, good stop by the Aviators.
Oh, nice.
Well played defensively. It was
Way
a
to get
slant.
that hand in there.
It was a slant. And the nickel corner does a great job. No, it was the cornerback fighting through traffic even. It was man-to-man, and Miller Jr. with a great stop, and that sets up a 4th and 3, and they're going to punt, Chris.
And, given the fact that Columbus has been prone to make a lot of mistakes early, I don't know that this is a bad strategy to flip the field and see if they can't make something bad happen.
Right. Low snap, punt is up. There's a flag down. On the line of scrimmage, that ball goes out of bounds at about the 15-yard line.
If that is an offsides, Eric, that is going to be a critical error.
Let's see what they say here. Yeah, it came in the direction where they would be offsides.
And they're pointing to the Columbus side of the field.
Nope, false start, offense. So we got lucky, Chris.
We did.
Illegal formation. Rick Neuheisel there kind of questioning what's going on here, boys. We're 2-0. Why are we making these mistakes?
Keep making them. We're happy with them.
They get to tack that on at the end of the play, it looks like, I believe.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I am too. Get that thing on about the 20, 25-yard line, and let's see if we can keep moving the football offensively.
Yeah,
7-0 Columbus over Dallas. Chris, I don't know if there's a place where you can pull up stats already. I think the UFL website.
Yeah, the UFL website is. I'm going to get that pull. I was actually working on that as we spoke.
As you can see, I'm wearing our official OHIO podcast UFL hat. We got that nice aviator blue, as I'm calling it, not Carolina blue, as one Chris Wilds and Corey were trying to.
I never referred to as Carolina blue.
You were saying I was a Tar Heel fan.
Pansy blue, maybe, but not Carolina blue.
186 subscribers, 7-0 Ohio State over Dallas. If you haven't, please consider subscribing to the channel. We would appreciate that very, very much if you would do so as we continue to call the action for you right here on YouTube. I tell you what, turn on the game, turn the volume off, turn us on. You're going to enjoy it much more listening to us than you would to those guys that they've got. I don't even know who's calling the game today, but.
So we got your live stats up for you, Eric. We got Columbus's passing game, of course, led by Jay McClendon, who 3 of 4, 75%, 22 yards, and a touchdown pass. Reed, who is, as you said, the league leader in yardage by a quarterback. Reed has 3 of 4, 75%, only 17 yards to start. Lovett leading the way on the ground for the Aviators with 18 yards, while Merriweather has the only carry for the Renegades for 0 yards. As far as receptions go, McClendon has passed the ball around 3 different receivers with a catch. Chisholm for 6 yards, Lovett for 8 yards and a touchdown, Oakes for 8 yards as well. 3 different receivers also have caught a pass for the Renegades, with Burnett, Merriweather, and Stoops all having 1 catch. Burnett having 10 yards to lead it. And D. Miller Jr. We saw him make that big pass breakup earlier.
Yeah.
He also leads the team in tackles out of the gate with 3.
He's already got 3 tackles this game.
He has 3 tackles in the game, which leads the entire game.
Wow. My goodness. So, a second possession in this football game. Now, one of the things I've noticed about the UFL as compared to the NFL or even college is it appears, Chris, that given the pace of play in the UFL, which is much faster, they're getting more offensive possessions
Yes.
than in the NFL. And there's also the commercials are either less or not as long because these games are quicker. Seems like they're much quicker, especially if you get a team that starts running the football really effectively, and the play clock just keeps never stops, just keeps going, keeps ticking away. Then these games can be really quick. I remember that opening game was only 2 hours and 15
Yeah.
minutes long, and that included a halftime show that was like 15 minutes long. So these games are much quicker than they are in the NFL or in college, where some of them, my gosh, given the length and the number of commercials in college football can last 4 hours long, man. It's just ridiculous. It doesn't
And
need to
these
be
are
that way.
halftime shows too, Eric. I mean, they have a concert at halftime.
Yeah, they are. They had opening concerts in week 1 and 2.
There's one last week as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's amazing to watch. That's just kind of tells you how money hungry a lot of those people are on. MS Bubble says who we on? Uh, we on Dallas. That's what that's who Columbus is on right now. Troy, good to see you. TG,
He's
good to
right.
see you.
He's right. It is kind of Houston Oiler blue.
Oh yeah. Nice play to start off, man. Here we go, Chris. Mac, the big tight end, big play, almost the midfield already. Columbus is rolling right now, dude.
You
I don't
know,
know.
I made mention of it at the beginning of the game. I wanted to see how they reacted with
Todd Haley.
halfway at the helm, and so far it's been very positive.
Man. I mean, first down, boom, 20 yards, and let's keep her rolling. 7 minutes to go, first and 10, ball on the 47-yard line, 3 yards away from hitting midfield and being in that four down territory. And they're there. First, that's not a first down, but a first down throw for 8 yards across midfield. Man, keep it moving, boys. Wells Jr. the catch. This is a
Yeah.
different football team, dude. I don't know, man. It's hard to believe that something like yesterday could galvanize a team or, make them focus more. But this is a different football team than what we've seen.
Well,
Second down and two, three receivers set, two to the top, tight end off to the left. There's the handoff to the left side. No, it's a RPO. He keeps it, gets nothing. Nice job, good read by the Dallas defense. It's going to set up a 3rd and 2. It was a
although
little
77 there
RPO.
looking like he was trying to get a conduct call, getting up in the face and kind of right in the face mask of the quarterback.
Yeah, that was a little bit misread there from Columbus on the
Absolutely.
RPO. He hands that off even though the defensive end crashed down, and that's what he was reading. He's reading the defensive end. They had a linebacker right there and ready. 3rd and 2 now. Ball from the and now we're going to go off to the left. He's got blockers in front of him. Quarterback keeper, give him 3 yards and a first down.
Nice.
Another first down. Second one on this drive for Columbus. I think that's the 4th or 5th of this game already for
Which
the
might be more than they
Aviators.
had all last week.
They had quite a few in the second half.
Yeah, it didn't feel good the first half.
No, it
Although they were that throw to close out the first half was just a bad throw, a bad choice, and they
yeah,
were within
a score. Yeah,
striking distance of being able to close the gap on that game a little.
ball from the 41. It's a handoff to the right hand side. He's going to get inside the 40 down to the 39.
Running
2 yard
hard.
carry over the right side. Tua with the carry, and it'll set up a 2nd down and 8. So
So
if you've been following the rushing here, they are much more successful running on the left side of this than they are the right side against
yeah.
this Renegade defense so far. Hard sledding on the right side, pretty open on the left. Here we go, 2nd down and 8. And we're going to go right up the middle. Cuts back to the right. That should have been a face mask. Did they see it?
I don't think so.
Let's see if Tua says something to the officials. Yeah. He grabs his face mask and says, "What? Where's the flag here, boys?" They missed it. He gets about 6 yards on the carry, though, maybe 5 or 6. It's going to set up a 3rd and 3, possibly. Yep.
Taua.
Taua?
Yeah, Taua.
I like to say Tua just because Tua Tagovailoa. All right, 3rd and 3. Shotgun gets the snap, throws over the middle. Keep your feet. He can't keep his feet. Oh, he's fumbling all over the
And
place,
there's a
man.
flag.
Late hit
I think so.
or a hold?
I think it's a late hit because we got a Renegade player walking off the field head down.
Nope. Defense. First down, baby. That's 5 yards and a first. Renegades making the mistakes early here.
That is not a happy coach right now, Eric.
No, it's not. Charlton offside. He's got his head leaning. Oh, yeah. He leaned.
Yeah,
he leaned. And then he lost his helmet.
That was an awful.
Taco Charlton. That's an old Michigan guy.
An old Michigan guy, yes.
Imagine.
Played for the Cowboys, I believe. Was drafted by the Cowboys, wasn't he?
I think so. Still in Dallas, apparently. 1st and 10, ball on the 29-yard line. There's a handoff. We're going to bounce it out to the outside. Jumps and gets his feet taken out from under him. Another flag.
81 was holding pretty bad.
We're going to get a hold, are we? Oh yeah, you got it. Good call, Chris. Beep, beep.
Well, they called 77. It looks like though. I saw 81 had a guy by the shoulder pads and the jersey it was extended.
Well, let's see here. Right tackle's who they're going to call it on. Yep, right there.
Oh yeah. But watch here, 81. Watch it. Oh yeah, I'm going to hold it, and then I'm going to extend it out. I'm going to stretch it out so y'all can see it.
1st and 20. That's a 10-yard loss. We see how much of it we can get back here. Here comes a delayed handoff, possibly. Ooh, Dallas looking like they're going to blitz off the edge here. Oh, bad snap. And we're going to lose more yards. Yep. How about 5-6 yards backwards? Jeez, here we go.
And what's bad is we can't punt it.
Nope. And now you're really putting yourself in a hole here. You know what? Let's give the quarterback credit there. McClendon, a nice job for.
He kept possession.
He kept the ball. He got, he only got a 3-yard loss out of that. So it could have been a lot worse. That thing flies over his head. 2nd and 22. Not a good spot right now for the Aviators. They were driving, man. This drive started inside their 20. Comes back to the receiver. He's going to give them about 4 yards there. That's going
I love the fact that we post the over-under in our ticker on the UFL.
That we do what? The over-under?
The ticker has the over-under in it. I love this.
Todd Haley, what you got in your bag on a 3rd and 17, brother? Set up for a field goal.
Up the middle.
Set up get something over the middle. Try to get a big field goal here, maybe. 3rd and 18. 3 receivers set. And we got another penalty. Looks like all start. This is the Columbus we've grown used to watching the first 2 weeks. It's more like it. Again, right tackle having a bad drive all of a sudden.
If we go back behind the 50, can we get our punt back?
You cannot. You got to go for it.
I know.
All right. How about Cole saying, "Give me a chance. Give me a chance. I can make this." That would be
that'd be a 4-pointer.
Yeah. Now we're gonna have to call timeout. We are discombobulated. Yep. Columbus is going to call their 2nd timeout of this game. And they still got a chance to get themselves in field goal range, try to go up by 2 scores here. That's one of the things about the UFL that's interesting is, the scoring system is such, Chris, to where it really makes it unique. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you look at this at any given time, I mean, you can be in a game that's what, uh, 13 points. I think you can still get keep it as a two possession game and not
Yeah,
have to have a
well,
touchdown.
right, and because you can get a 3-point conversion, so you can score 9 points on a score, and then you can go for a first and 20 something
Yeah.
instead of an onside kick and get the ball right back. So
Yeah. I mean, there's so many unique things in the UFL, which it makes it an exciting game. It really does. And honestly, the first and 20 something, I kind of like that rule. That, from a player's safety standpoint, I think that is a much better rule than the onside kick. Um,
well,
but
it's
then
a lot
again,
less luck. An onside kick
yeah,
has a lot of luck involved into it. All right, here we go. 3rd and 23. Let's see what Columbus can do here. They're going to go over the middle. Nice slant. Give them about, I don't know, what was that? 8 yards? 9 yards? Dallas was way off
yeah,
defensively, obviously. They were willing, and we did. We did that to get to the ball to the middle to set up for a field goal.
yes.
We got 10 yards on that. All right, Cole this year done a pretty good job kicking. This is a long one, though, Chris.
This is a 4 point field goal.
Is it? I don't think so.
They just said it on the
Are they?
broadcast.
It's a 47-yarder, I think, isn't it? Thought it was
50.
over 50.
It is a 50.
Yeah, he missed it right. Had the distance.
That was ugly.
Had the distance, just missed it right.
Laces out, Dan.
Dallas comes away without giving up any points to the Aviators there.
And basically in no worse field position, really, than when they punted the ball away.
Yep. Oh yeah, that did that get hit on the line?
May have.
That came off. That came
That was
off.
wobbly. Very
That came off
wobbly.
weird. Yeah. SoCo gets nothing offensively after a nice second drive, but we stubbed ourselves in the toe with the holding call and then the false start. So now Columbus has to come back out defensively here and see if they can keep the Renegades off the scoreboard. Here's a snap, run up the middle, big gap, 12 yards, first down right across midfield with
Wow.
one play. Bam.
And this
Big
was the
hole.
problem that I've seen the last 2 weeks, Eric, is the fact that this run defense is nothing short of atrocious.
Yeah, the DC just absolutely ran it down the throats of this defensive line.
Day just tore him up.
That's the end of the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Columbus with a 7-0 lead after the first 15 of play. And man, the way they're acting, it's cold in Dallas. I wonder what the temperature is down there.
I don't know. But it's got to be cold for Ohio boys to be cold down there,
I mean, it can't be that cold. Come on, guys.
Yeah, at the end of the first quarter, I'll tell you, this I will say, McClendon's looked very good. 7 of 8. He's got 71 yards passing, a touchdown. Uh, you know, and he saved a bad snap, kept it from being a turnover. The running game has provided some balance. 29 yards on 8 carries, not a great yards per carry average at only 3.6. But Lovett has looked pretty good. He's averaging about 4.5 a carry.
Yeah, but to your point, Chris, after the first drive, they took him out. He wasn't even in on that second drive.
Yeah, exactly.
It was Teua.
Who came in 2 carries, 7 yards, and then Morton came in for 1 carry, 4 yards. So not exactly, once you got past Lovett, a great performance on the ground. Receiving, our leading receiver is Elise Mack.
Mac Daddy.
Mac, I love it. We'll go with that. Mac Daddy has himself a catch for 27 yards. Renegades, the Renegades, I'll tell you, have been just, I guess, dormant is the best way. They've only got 2 carries for 12 yards. They're 3 of 4 passing for 17. I mean, this is a first quarter where they only saw 29 yards of offense, and that is with arguably the best quarterback in the league right now. So, I mean, Columbus has to pat themselves on the back for that. Defensive leaders, Miller still the leading tackler with 3. He does have the 1 pass deflection as well. On the other side of the ball, Tyler leading the way with 4 tackles for the Renegades. So, Eric, one good thing we can say, we have not seen a turnover in this game
Yet. That's been the story of the season for the Aviators, man. They just haven't been able to hold on to the football.
Yes.
NFL draft in 2 weeks, buddy.
All right. Well, we got our big spring game down at Ohio State this week, and then the next
Yep.
following week. In fact, it's not even a full week later, we do the NFL draft.
Yep. Which you're gonna have to take care of the Friday night for me, just so you know.
Okay.
My brother and I are taking Dad to a Cincinnati Reds game that Friday night.
Okay.
I'll
That's
take
all
care.
right.
I'll take care of Thursday night and then Saturday.
I love me some draft.
Yeah, it's if I would have known that was the night of the draft, I probably would have scheduled that week. But oh well.
Speaking of which, are you still part of the draft league that we had before?
No,
No.
no. I couldn't. I just didn't have the time doing this stuff all the time. Yeah, and I just don't watch enough. I've watched more UFL football than I in the first 3 weeks of the UFL than I have the NFL in the last 5 years combined.
Well, here's the thing. I think we have more viewers now that are actually NFL watchers as well. I almost wonder if we shouldn't try an in-house version of it this time,
Yeah,
or maybe I run the league.
yeah, well, maybe. Um, Carry up the middle, about 4 yards again. Hunter, the running back for Dallas, now it's getting a little verbal, a little chippy down there.
That's good.
2nd down and 6. These are 2 teams that got similar color schemes. You know that, Chris?
They are. The Texas team I'm going to call it a little more manly blue than our Columbus Aviators.
A little more aqua. I would call that more aqua blue than aviator blue. Another penalty. And it comes in the form of, false start. I think that's going to
Uh-huh.
be movement on the left side of the line there
I
by
think you're
Dallas.
right.
That'll help out the defense. Man, that official's got some forearms there. A little Ed Hockley looking there.
He's trying to get himself on screen as much as Ed, seeing if he can flex and show off a little.
Well, move it back a few more yards there. We'll set up a 2nd and long now. 2nd and 11 for the Renegades. Reed sends a man in motion. He's looking to his left. He's throwing that way. Caught through. Man, he laced that thing right
Wow,
into
right
3
between.
defenders.
Yeah.
Vaughn's the catch. He ends up with 10 yards. It's going to set up a 3rd and 1, and they're cross midfield, so it's 2 down territory here for the Renegades. Well, number 11 just slipped and fell. He ran right by it and fell down. So that play should have went for maybe 6, 7 yards. It ends up going for 10, setting up the 3rd and 1 here. 2 receivers to the top. That's a 12-man personnel with 2 tight ends in. Handoff, broken tackle.
Oh,
Moving his
my.
way through the defense. Inside the 20, down to the 10, out of bounds at the 9. And again, missed tackles here by the linebackers for Columbus. That's 2 in a row. And now he's telling somebody about it.
Columbus has a serious defensive problem, Eric.
And I during the season preview, I talked about this. I said that the thing that scares me the most about this team isn't their offense, it's their defense. You have a first-time defensive play caller. He was coaching high school last year. Um, And there's another handoff, slips the tackle, goes right up the middle for about 9 more yards, setting up a 2nd and goal from the 1. Looks like the Renegades are just going to punch this thing in here, Chris.
Well, I'm sorry, Eric, but if he was coaching high school, you'd think we'd be a little better at the fundamentals, and that's where we're lacking. We
You're
lack
right.
discipline and fundamentals.
You're right. We over pursue so much defensively. Right there. I mean, little jump cut, and number 1 was out of his shoes, and that's 2 times in a row. Number 1 has been has missed the tackle. And he can be mad at his teammates all he wants, but you got to go make the play, son. You're the one who was talking trash, and now that's 2 plays in a row. He's absolutely burned you. There was a hold that didn't get a flag thrown. Defensive end beat the left tackle. He was holding on for dear life. Quarterback felt the pressure, throws it out of the backside of the end zone, and sets up a 3rd and goal from the 1.
It,
I'm
it,
surprised. I'm surprised they passed the football as good as they've been
yeah,
running it
I
here on
wouldn't.
this drive. I mean, you're
Maybe
you're
I
you're
just feel
all,
they
you're
can come right.
overthinking. Just run it at us. We can't stop anything.
Well, maybe that's their thought is we can play a little here because on 3rd and 4th we can just punch it.
Well, let's see. Still in shotgun, 4 receiver set. Fakes the
I still
handoff.
see.
There's the slant, wide open touchdown.
Wow.
Pretty easy. Although I would have ran. I still would have ran the football.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Somebody needs
guess
to go back and look at the Super Bowl that Seattle threw away.
yeah.
Had Marshawn Lynch in the backfield and they
Watch
throw
this
the ball.
left linebacker here. Yeah, he blitzed. That's what it was. Left the man wide open. Burnett playing some dice. 7-6, Dallas now with the score, and they're going to be going for the extra point, try to tie this thing up at 7. All right, we've got snap, hold, kick, 7-all. All right, Chris, how will Columbus respond now? They had a chance to go up 2 scores, they couldn't do it. Renegades marched right down the field. They had a big run to set up that plus scoring drive and tie the football game up. You're Columbus here. How are you playing this thing coming out on this 3rd drive?
You know what? I'm going to come out. I'm going to be, I think, conservative. I'm going to try to hold the ball a little bit. I'm going to bring in uh, Lovett, who had a lot of success in that first half or that first quarter, on the first drive at least, and see if we can't reestablish the run a little bit to help open up that passing game for McClendon. Because ever since Lovett came out of the game, it seems like they are just going after McClendon. Uh, Almost like they know he's going to have the ball in his hands, whether it's on the ground or throwing it. He's going to have the ball in his hands. They're really, I think, going after him right now. So if it's me, I'm going to try to get Lovett, active on the ground again and see what we can do to maybe establish a little bit of a run game and loosen up that pass defense a little bit.
Well, for me, we haven't necessarily seen too much of the athleticism from the quarterback. He did have that, I think it was a 4th and short, where he ran off the right side of the offensive line and he picked up 3 yards and a first down. I want to roll him out here and
Yeah.
and and see if we can't take some advantage of that. See if maybe you have a nice play down the field, or if he just tucks it and runs and picks up a nice little gain. But keep this defense loose by rolling him out and using his feet. The last thing I want them to do is to do what they kind of did at the end there when you got behind the chains, and then they just pin the ears back and make life miserable for the offensive line. And you could tell when the offensive line thought the blitz was coming, they were uncomfortable. They had a false start. You had the hold. So I mean, offensively, if there's a weakness for Columbus, it is the offensive line, and so you want to try to kind of use that with that, have that understanding, and roll him out. Use the quarterback's athleticism to your advantage. That's what I would do if I was Columbus here.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. And you're right. McClendon, He is a tremendous athlete, great runner. He's been very accurate today, but that's because I think they've set him up in positions to succeed. And I think they need to continue to do that. That's the big thing.
Yep. Scores 7-7 now, as we have updated the graphic for everybody.
Boy, the UFL is all about this whole gambling thing, man. They got the over under in their ticker, and they've got a DraftKings commercial going right now.
Well, I mean, when DraftKings your biggest sponsor, I guess they have purchased the right to talk about gambling. Dallas was an 8.5 point favorite to start the game, huh?
And I see that.
Still a favorite, but only come down 6.5. All right, there's the kick. It's fielded, going backwards, not forwards. Bad job. You never field a kick going backwards if you can help it, man. Never. You have no momentum. It's gonna make you a second and a half, 2 seconds behind where you would be if you caught it on the run moving forward. Start back and come forward. It's like a center fielder with a fly ball with a man
Yes.
on third. You never want to move backwards trying to catch the ball. You want to be moving forward when you catch the ball, so all your momentum is going towards home plate.
Right. You don't want to catch and try to throw off your back foot. I mean,
Right. I mean, these are the, like you said, Chris, earlier, fundamentals. Two receiver set, 12-man personnel, two tight ends, one back. Here comes the rush. He hits the quarterback while the ball was loose. Did Columbus get it
Columbus
back?
stole it back.
We stole. That ball was fumbled. It was a sack, strip.
Credit
Mitchell. I thought Mitchell was going to recover it.
credit to
And
big number
then
75. He just took it away.
left
Ryan
tackle.
Nelson.
Right tackle's getting schooled, man. He is getting absolutely schooled.
But he's also no, it was the left tackle that actually got the ball back.
Yeah. 2nd and 17 behind the chains again. Nice catch. That's about a 12-yard play to Mack, the
Yeah.
tight end, who goes to his knees, catches the football, setting up a third and manageable now. It'll be about 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7 after a 2nd and long.
Use those tight ends. Use Elise Mack. Use Gunnar Oaks. Those guys seem to be able to get open.
White is into the game at back, so there's your third back.
I think probably the best receiver of the three backs.
3rd and 7 here, Chris. Ball on the 23. They need to get it to the 30. Runs a route short, Chris. Ran a route short. He says he wasn't down. They're calling to play dead. Was he down?
Well, I'll tell you what, we learned last week, never stop running the play until you know for sure, because they ended up with a double turnover last week because of that.
Oh, his forearm was down.
His forearm was down. His knee never touched, but his
knees weren't down, though.
Nope. But once the forearm made contact.
4th and 2, Columbus has got a punt.
Use a hard cadence to try to draw him.
Snap, kick. Good punt.
Nice punt.
Calling for a fair catch. Takes a nice Columbus bounce. What are you doing? Let it keep bouncing.
Now, we were down in the field, Eric. Maybe it started to bounce back the other way. We didn't see.
I get that, but I don't know, man. All of a sudden, that thing takes another
Although, Haley looks really pissed about that. So I'm thinking you were probably right. Haley was not a happy camper.
No. I think that thing takes another bounce. That thing could go another 15, 20 yards. Well, Renegades get the ball for the third time now. Score tied at 7. 9:11 to go in the second quarter. They're going to start now at the 28-yard line. Receiver in motion. And, Reed said, I don't see anything
he says,
coming.
I don't want this.
That was obviously a miscalculation somewhere, because You know what? They're setting up a screen because the left side of that defense just or left side of that offense just let everybody go, and then the next
Yeah.
thing you know, the defense collapsed on him, and he said, "Nah, just gonna lay down here, sacrificial lamb style." 2nd and 15, loss of 5. Columbus, nice play defensively. Reed sends the back in motion, looks over the middle, and that ball is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. This is, watching the UFL sometimes, Chris, is kind of like going to a youth football game.
It is.
I'm telling you, man, it's wild. You're not really sure what you're gonna see. Patton knocked that ball down, and then the offensive lineman dove on it and moved his feet around like he was being electrocuted or something. I don't
I
know. It's
love this
wild.
stuff.
3rd and 15. Can Columbus get off the field? They got to get all the way down to the 38-yard line. They're on the 26. Excuse me, 28. Oh, man, they must
Get her,
Reed.
get in
Reed's
there.
just like, I'm done. Get this ball away. Good defense by the secondary for Columbus there.
Good. It looked like
Nice
they
job.
ran a little stunt inside there, and
Yeah, nice job by that line. Getting that pressure. Reed just throwing it out of
and
bounds.
and great job by Jenkins there, getting his hands up and making it an uncomfortable throw. So there was really no way to look downfield.
4th and 15. And, ooh, look at this. They have a gunner in the back by the punter. See that?
Yep.
Someone jacked that guy. There we go. He comes up and fields it on the run,
There
gets a
you go.
yard. But hey, that's much better. We're going to start inside the 40-yard line here
You
for
better have a
Columbus.
game plan here because odds are you're going to get to the other side of the 50.
Right, right.
You better be scripted out a few plays.
Well, I mean, this is, again, opportunity to take the lead back, right? You
Yes.
start the game off with a great opening drive. You go up 7-0. Defense is, giving you two 3-and-outs, I believe. Or no, the first drive they only got one
Yeah.
first down. They gave you a 3-and-out there, got the ball back in great field position after basically relinquishing that lead on that second drive. This is a great opportunity to say, okay, we are in this thing for the long haul. This is going to be a close game all the way through. We don't care that you're 2-0, considered the best team in the UFL right now, with the best quarterback playing at home on a sleepy Sunday morning for you in Dallas. We're coming in here to play football, and if you can go back up here, take the lead again, this is a huge drive for Columbus. Now, we got to stop stubbing ourselves in the foot. I mean, that has been the Achilles heel for this football team, offensively anyways, this season.
Yes.
They're able to move the football, Chris. They're able to score, but they put themselves in just terrible position. They're behind the chains all the time.
Here's the thing too. Yes, there's 7:14 left. There's a lot of time left. 7:14. There's probably 5 possessions left in this game.
Right.
But but no. If you do manage to control the clock and you run some time off the clock, you've got the ball coming out at the start of the second half as well. So you go out there, you score here, you hold them, you get possession coming out in the second half. You have a chance to make a huge swing here.
Do we? Columbus started with ball.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we did. We
Did
scored
they?
on our first drive.
I thought that was off of a kick.
No, we started with the football.
Oh, you may be right.
So yeah, you do
Then
not
you
want this.
definitely you definitely want to run the clock here.
Correct. Yeah, we started with the football.
I don't recall. I was still trying to get my network set up.
Yeah.
DK's sorry that he had to leave you with me this week, Eric. Well, DK, I'm sorry you left me alone last week. How about that?
Yeah. DK's done one game. By the way, DK's got this hat as well. I mailed that to him. I have yours as well. If I would have known you was going to be in the office on what was that, Wednesday, I would have brought it and left it there, but I didn't know. No one told me.
And the
Ron
bad part is
Stone
Martin,
Jr.,
I
I'm
knew.
guessing. That must be his dad they're talking about there, right there.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Aviators. Ball on the 43-yard line, going left to right on your radio dial. 3 receiver set to the top. McClendon looks to the top. He goes back, dumps it off to the running back. Nice cut. Give him 9 yards there. Is that White?
Good
Yep,
play.
White with the
Yep, that
catch
was
and
White.
run. He's got to be one of my favorite players on the team, be honest with you.
I like him a lot. He was really effective in the first week.
2nd down and 1. Quick snap. McClendon looks over the middle again. Wide open receiver on the second level. 1st down. Martin.
Happy birthday to DK's mom, who's celebrating her birthday today.
Happy birthday, DK's mom. Go Aviators. Hope you have an Aviator win birthday. Dylan, does she even know who the Aviators are? 1st and 10, I almost said Buckeyes. 1st and 10, Vaders. As they cross the midfield, McClendon, look at those numbers. 11 of 12, 98 yards so far in this game.
And a touchdown pass.
Handoff to the left to White. He cuts back to the right, met by a host of Renegades there at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10, no gain on 1st down. 6 minutes to go in the first half. That defensive coordinator for the Renegades looks like he hangs out with Billy Bob somewhere down there in Florida, doesn't he?
He does. Well, DK, if she barely knows who Purdue is, maybe she can give us an OH.
All right, 2nd and 10. Ball on the 35-yard line. McClendon with plenty of time over the middle again, incomplete. Martin had his hands on it. Couldn't pull it in.
Looked like a good throw.
It did. It looked like that was the only place he could have really put it. He puts it in the window there. Martin can't handle it. That would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 3rd and 10. You want to try to get 5 or 6 yards here at least to set up a 4th and 4, unless you're going to decide to kick again. Coe did have the distance on the last field goal attempt. He just pushed it wide right.
We're at 5 minutes left in the half, and that was only his 2nd incompletion.
3rd and 10. McClendon looks over the field again. Time, throws to the left. Incomplete.
Oh!
No flag.
That was great coverage, it looked like.
Mack with the stop. No flag. 4th and 10. Yeah, McClendon left that one a little low, I think.
Yeah. Had he gone up a little higher with that, Martin might have a chance.
Well, if he goes up too high, though, then you got the safety coming over the top. So I wonder if that was meant to initially be a back shoulder fade. Wade was wanting an offensive pass interference.
I don't know that he was
did not
wrong,
get it.
But
And Coe with the quick kick here. Didn't give us much time to set it up. Field goal. Columbus. Coe with a 3-pointer puts the Renegades back on top, Chris. 10-7.
That's good. That's good. Play with the lead. That's the key. Wow. So do you think our buddy Mike is going to the draft? The NFL draft is in Pittsburgh.
Probably not. I don't think he'll.
I know he's coming to see us this weekend, but
yeah. I mean, I'm going to make a guess that it's going to be so crazy downtown that he's going to be like, I'm just avoiding downtown completely.
Maybe have a Buckeye draft party over at the beer bar.
I mean, that's what it's going to feel like in that first round. That's for sure. That is for sure.
We haven't done our Buckeye draft picks yet.
That's coming up next Sunday.
Ooh.
You got anything special? Any prediction? Anything you want to throw out there?
No, not yet. Nothing I want to throw out yet.
There we go. We've got it updated. Let's go back through some of these comments here. Some of the names I don't recognize here.
And hopefully they hit that like and subscribe while they were there.
Nick Hill, Ohio State would win the UFL. MS Bubbles, who we on? We on YouTube. TG in the house, good to see her.
Always.
Troy, good to see you. Like that song by Paula Abdul, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. We come together as opposites attract. Love Brittany Lane says Day Day just tore them up. I love
Day
it.
did tear them up.
Yeah. Indeed. And then we got DK in the chat as well. There you go. She barely knows who Purdue is.
But then again, most football fans barely know who Purdue is.
Ouch! Come on, man. Harsh. All right, Renegades with the football on the 25-yard line. I missed the kickoff there. I don't know what happened.
Day's in there again. He's in the backfield.
Oh, we've got a false start by the. Now they're both pointing at each other.
Yeah, I think Columbus jumped first.
Nope, false start on the offense. False start, buddy. Just again, Dallas stubbing themselves in the toe. This is normally what Columbus does to themselves. And Reed just got that scowl, the quarterback. What is going on? 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. 1st and 15. Come on, guys. Get it together.
Or does Reed look a lot like Junior from Little Giants?
There you go. That's a nice pass. Back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll make it 2nd down and 10.
Looking about 12 years old.
Is it really 3rd down?
It is 3rd down.
That's what they're showing on the TV screen.
No, it's 2nd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because did they hit him with a down on
1st?
On the false.
Loss of down on the false start? No way.
No, I don't know.
All right, here we go. It's actually 2nd down and 10, I believe.
No, they're trying to 3rd and 10.
They're
riding or dying with it. Oh, he's moving.
Oh, shovel pass. Give him 5. Nice defensive play.
Give credit to Reed, though, for making something out of nothing. Because he was in trouble. Was he went across the line of scrimmage, was he? The Aviators coaches are ticked about something.
Well, ticked at their one of the position coaches. Are they confused about down a distance as well? No, that was 3rd down. I guess we lost. Did we lose a whole down?
Maybe we missed a play, Eric.
Must have. 4th and 5. Here we go. Here's the punt.
This is huge. You're going to have the ball with 2 minutes left. You've got a timeout left.
We got all the way to the nice return, too. All the way to about the 38-yard line.
Yeah. You're out near the 40. You have a chance to put points on the board.
Hey, it's getting chippy, too. I like it. Here we go. We're not backing down. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Aviators. 38-yard line. And look where the penalty flag went. I'm telling you.
The camera is taken off with the flag.
The UFL might be the craziest form of football I have ever seen next to the XFL. I mean, which
was very underrated. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, hold on the Aviators. Take that ball and move it back. Man, they were having pretty good field position to start this drive, too. Till that. I can't. Oh my gosh. The XFL was underrated, dude. It was wild, man.
Well, Eric, as we look at this is definitely the best game the Aviators have played all season.
Oh, hands down.
Can they close it out now is the next question. I mean, a lot of football
Hopefully.
left to be played. We got a little less than 2 minutes left in the first half. They have a chance to add to their lead here. Um, and you want to see them add to the lead here, but they can't make the stupid mistake like they did at the end of last week's first half.
Yeah.
Don't
No, you
force the ball
gotta.
downfield.
Yeah, you got to make sure that you don't you don't put your defense in a bad position right here at the end of the half. You talked about it. Columbus throws that bad interception right before halftime. They had every opportunity to get within one score, change the momentum of this football game completely. And now you're sitting here wondering and you're asking yourself, hey, can we go up by two scores? Can we at least get in field goal range and let time expire without letting Dallas have the football? Like we discussed here at the last commercial break, Dallas is going to get the football coming out of halftime. They're going to
Yes.
make some adjustments. This is the best offense in the UFL through the first two games. You do not want to they're going to make adjustments, they're going to score. You want to make sure that you take advantage of the fact that when you have the football and you have scoring opportunities, that you're completing those scoring opportunities so that you are in this football game in the fourth quarter and you're giving yourself a chance to win this game. Like we said before we kicked off, this would be the biggest upset so far in the UFL. It puts you right back in everything. You're 1-2, but now there's only one team left at 3-0, and that team is nowhere near the top echelon of the UFL. They're not. I'm sorry, Orlando. I know you've won two close home games and you won one on the road. I think against Birmingham, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a completely different opportunity for Columbus here to get right back in the discussion. And even though Ted Ginn Jr. and the unfortunate incident happened with that yesterday, Chris,
Yeah.
maybe you're finding something here. I mean, well, McClendon seems to be happy. He's out there dancing on first down. He's got some juice.
Here's the question, and you mentioned it. Sadly, the unfortunate incident with
Teddy.
Teddy Ginn Jr. If Rob Haley comes up out here and leads this team to
Or
or Todd
Todd.
Haley, Todd Haley, I knew what I meant, comes out and leads this team to a victory, and they look good. Given the struggles and given the incident that happened, does that cause any kind of a controversy with this team?
No, because at this point I believe that he's probably head coach going forward. We don't know how long Ted Ginn Jr. is going to be out, but it's not going to be just for this weekend. I'll tell you that. Throws the ball out of the backfield for 2 yards, setting down a 2nd and 8, and that ball was terribly thrown. Terrible decision, guys. That's a pick six touchdown
With the pitch, that
with a pitch, and there it is, Chris. There's
you
the
know,
Aviators
and
being the Aviators.
this is McClendon's biggest issue.
Yep.
It is his decision making. He's a great athlete. I think he has an adequate arm. I think he's got good feet. It's decision making, and that was a bad decision. He did not read the defense well, and it ended up costing. Now, the only thing that is positive here is they'll get the ball back. They still have an opportunity to get this thing, if they can come out and get a field goal at least, get this thing down to a 1 point game, depending on what Dallas does here with the conversion. And it looks like they are going for a 1 point attempt. And honestly, if you get the ball into that 4 point territory, do you sit on it there and try the 4 point field goal to tie the game?
Yeah, I mean, of course you try it if you're there, but I mean, this is what's so frustrating about watching this team the first 3 weeks.
How about that? Did you see who the defensive back was?
Who was it?
That's Shaun Wade.
Good old Shaun Wade. That's two former Buckeyes with picks in this weekend in the UFL.
I don't know whether Wade actually got the pick or whether he was the one who returned the kick, but they were just interviewing him on the sideline.
I think he got the pick. I don't think he was him scoring the touchdown. Yeah, that was the pick because number 5 is the one who scored the tutty.
Yep. We saw
Well,
him do that a few times for us in Columbus.
we did. All right, Chris, you're gonna take over the play calling here while I update the stats here real
All
fast.
right, the kick is off. The return. Oh, he breaks through. He's at the 40. He's got a blocker. He's up to the. Oh, he fumbles the ball and it gets out of bounds at the Dallas 28-yard line. You picked a great play to come off on, Eric.
I know. I missed it.
A beautiful spin move, reminiscent of Braxton Miller by White, who just gets the ball knocked out at the end, and it luckily rolls out of bounds. Right now, Columbus is nearing the traditional red zone. Let's see where they place it, though. I don't know where they placed it, where the fumble occurred. I don't think you can advance
a fumble. Yeah, you can't advance a fumble.
Okay, so the ball is actually at the 41.
All right. 3 receiver set, 1 back. That was White on the return. McClendon looks over the field. He's going to send it to number 3, who was on a nice little drag route.
That's
11 yards, first down. Chisholm,
yep. Chisholm, correct? Yeah.
1st and 10 Aviators. They're trying to move quickly. The clock is moving down to 1 minute. They only have 1 timeout. McClendon's saying, let's keep it going. Same set. 3 receivers, 2 to the top. He looks to the left, and he gets sacked. Wasn't open. His initial target wasn't open. Defensive lineman
gotta learn to throw that away.
Yep. Clock is moving, and now it's stopped. Did we call our 3rd and final?
Or did Dallas call one? Dallas has 3 left, so.
Yeah, well defended by Dallas there, defensive. No one was open. McClendon just has to eat it, get sacked.
Kevin Strong, just an absolute beast, by the way.
Yeah, 2nd and 18 will be the play call here for the Aviators, who, by the way, did call that timeout. That was a Columbus timeout. They have none left.
That tells me they're going to probably try to get a first down, try to go to the outside. If they don't get it, we're going to try the 4-point field goal.
Well, you might see him go to the middle here, looking at setting up a field goal.
Yeah, so try to get the first and then clock it.
The sun's peeking out finally down there in Dallas.
I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful day here in Ohio.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. I was hoping to crack open a victory cigar here today, but Columbus has not helped us out much when it comes to that. There's a few people in the stands, but just for the best team in the UFL, no one there to watch. It's sad. 2nd and 18, 49 seconds to go. Snap is back. It's a screenplay. Dallas sniffed it out. They'll get 3 yards, and out of bounds goes White. So he does stop Love it. Yeah. He does stop the clock at 44 seconds, setting up a 3rd now and long. 3rd and 15.
I think you've got to go across the middle here.
You got plenty of time to send your field goal unit out. Plenty of time.
Yeah, I think you've got to try to hit either Mack or Oaks across the middle, or possibly if you want to run Martin across the middle on some type of a slant.
There it is. And he runs out of bounds short of the first down, so he stops the clock, Chris.
Are they going to go for it?
Well, it's 4th and 3 now. It was a nice 15-yard.
That's manageable.
Yeah, absolutely. A field goal makes it 14-13 if he makes it, but with 38 seconds left at 4th and 3, they're going for it, Chris.
I love this.
Do you? I don't know about this one, man.
I love this because this is Haley saying, I got confidence in you guys. Go out there, get us the first down, and we're going to stick this thing in the end zone.
You're playing against the clock, and the odds are against you here. He does roll him out, and there's a penalty.
It's going to be a holding.
Incomplete pass, too. I didn't love it. I didn't like it. Still don't.
I
Hold on
like
the offensive line. Oh, yep. Hold on the offensive line. Penalties decline. Turnover on downs.
I liked the call to go for it. I was not a big fan of the play itself. You've got somebody that athletic at quarterback. I think you could have taken advantage of it a little more. Maybe a little RPO.
Where was the hold at?
Had to have been back behind. So that's what makes it even worse because the hold was probably back where it wasn't even a part of the play.
Well, Dallas now gets the ball with 33 seconds. Ball on the 23-yard line. How aggressive will they be? Well, they're going to be super aggressive. Comes right out. There's a pass. Give them 5 yards and a nice tackle.
Oh, look at him. Oh, I'm going to hang out here on your back if you don't mind for a couple seconds.
Yeah, and there's the first timeout by Dallas. So Dallas is thinking we can move this thing close enough to try for a 4-point field goal, baby. Go up 18-10.
Yeah.
I did see. This is one of the reasons why I was like, I'm not so sure about this. Take the points when you can get them, man. You would be going down in a halftime 14-13 more than likely.
Well,
Now
here's
you're
the
down
thing.
4, or could be worse here in a few seconds.
I saw the Columbus kicker miss 2 field goal attempts last week.
Yes, you did. I get you. And he missed
We
one
saw him
today
miss one
already.
today. So, and as an Ohio State fan, I don't have the utmost faith in our kickers in Columbus, Ohio right now. So,
It's a legitimate point. It's a
so for
legitimate
me,
point.
I like that Haley showed confidence in the guys. Again, not a fan of the play call itself, but I love the guts to go for it there.
We got 9 people watching us here at the end of this first half as there is a false
False
start
start,
by
I'm
the
assuming.
offense.
Oh yeah,
Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We've gained 2 new subscribers today as Chris and
that's
I
awesome.
we react live to Columbus's 3rd game of the season here on this Sunday afternoon as they take on the Renegades of Dallas. 2nd down and 10 after the false start. Back to the original line of scrimmage. 27 seconds to go. 4 receivers set. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom of the screen. He's got a running back flanked to his left. Reed steps up in the pocket, guns it way downfield, and overshoots the receiver who had a step and his man
Yeah,
beat. That could have been ugly, Chris.
yeah. As far as where he was going with the pass, it was right. He just had a little too much on it. He takes a little off that. I'm
That's a
having a feeling
touchdown.
that he's still running.
Yeah. We're looking at 21-10 right before halftime. And sitting here in halftime questioning how in the world could we have outplayed this team and still down 11 points? Because I think the stats are going to show that we've outplayed them.
Oh, absolutely.
Here we go. 3rd and 10. Big 3rd down. Man in motion. 4 receiver set. Handoff. Stretch play to the right. Defensively, we snuff it out. He'll go down smartly in bounds, and the clock will now run out. That was smart by the running back on not going out of bounds.
It was.
There's your halftime score, guys. 14-10. Again, Chris, we're losing by 4 in a game where you got to feel like you've outplayed your opponent.
Yeah.
This is the type of stuff that I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks now. Shooting yourself in the foot, making bonehead mistakes. The pick 6 that was the Sean Wade little toss back to number 5 there for a touchdown. That's the difference in this football game.
It is. It's bad when a Buckeye bites you in the butt, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
A
Oh
little
man, but let's take a look at.
Buckeye on Ohio crime there.
So as we look at this thing, I'm going to get an updated stats read for us here. Right now, the scoreboard does say 14-10 in Dallas's favor, but Eric, you talked about it. If we look at the quarterback comparisons, 15 of 20 for McClendon, 75%, 125 yards, one tutty, one pick. If you go over to the other side, we're talking about the leading passer in the league. The Renegades Reed is 8 of 14 for 44 yards and a touchdown. 44 yards is all he has in the first half, coming in averaging over 300 yards a game. But I'll tell you where they've got it going on, and this is big, and it's changed since the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, they had 12 yards rushing. They now have 53. They put in Day Hunter, and Day has taken over this game. 4 carries, 53 yards. The Aviators only have 29 total yards rushing. And we got away from the rush. And we had to, in a sense, because we kept shooting ourselves in the foot and getting penalties, setting up second and third and really long. Receiving totals, we have Lovett with 3. Chisholm, Martin, and Mack all have 2, as does Moore. White, Wells, and Oaks all have 1, as does Taua. And I'm telling you, he's spreading the ball. McClendon is spreading the ball well. You look over at the other side on Dallas, you've got 2 players in Vaughn and Burnett who each have 2 catches each. Hunter, Ward, and Stoops all have 1. And then defensively, and this is where it really tells for you right here. Columbus, if you look at their defensive stats, they have 20 tackles to 38 tackles for Dallas in that first half. That tells you, obviously, that Columbus ran more plays. As you said, I think Columbus is winning the stat battle. Leading tackler for the game is still Miller. Kevin Strong and Harris for the Renegades both have 2 apiece, as does Jones, Powell, and Taylor. But I think the story of this game is bonehead mistakes. That is what's happened. Bad penalties at inopportune times and silly turnovers. And that has been the theme for the Aviators this season. Undisciplined football, and just not very fundamentally sound. And it boggles my mind, given who the coaches are on this team, that we're seeing this much of a lack of fundamentals. Because to me, that's just atrocious.
Now, it's interesting you bring that up, Chris, because one of the things that I was very concerned about is they don't have much of a spring training or fall camp or whatever
Right.
you want to compare it to in football for college and or the NFL. You look at college football, you know, obviously the bigger schools typically will play smaller schools in their non-conference starting off as like a spring training. The NFL actually gets, they get the
4 game
preseason game.
preseason, yeah.
They 3 of them now. I think it was 4. I think it's down to 3 now,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. There's nothing like that in the UFL. They get 4 weeks of practice, and then all of a sudden they're playing football games. And so it feels a little bit discombobulated, and it's because it is. It is discombobulated. It's one of the things about spring football, I think, that the UFL and other spring leagues, the XFL, whatever, European, the NFL, European, whatever, they always dealt with the fact that you don't have a true commitment level from these players and
Right.
coaches for that matter that you're getting on a professional level like the NFL, like you're getting from a college from the coaching staffs in those colleges. I mean, they kind of throw these things together, and it looks like it. And so I was very concerned that what we were going to get was a very watered down style of football. Now they try to make it exciting through some of the rules and the point structure and things of that nature. But one of the frustrations I have as a fan is the fact that you're watching some bad football.
Right.
And I think it's one of the things that the UFL is having to try to fight against. And it's going to be a consistent fight is people who are diehard NFL fans diehard high level college football fans are going to look at this and they're going to say, yeah, just kind of like that interception. That was a terrible pass. Like, you're not going to see that typically in the NFL.
But you
They're
know
gonna,
what? As football fans in Ohio, you take away Ohio State, and the Aviators might be the best football we see all year.
well, I mean, that's sad.
I mean, it is. Um, a few years ago we saw the Bengals get there, but Bengals often injured and very inconsistent. The Browns haven't been the Browns since they left in the '90s. So you know, this is you know, what I will say is this: I think people in Ohio, specifically in the Columbus area, are hungry for this. I think they're going to support this. I think this team's going to get a lot of backing. But Ohio sports fans will only also tolerate mediocrity for so long, especially
Hmm.
fans in Columbus.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
the Columbus sports fan is not used to losing. Oh,
especially when it comes to
what
football.
about hockey? 'Cause the Blue Jackets are like, I
They're a
mean,
playoff
yeah,
team. They're a playoff
they
team, I think, this year.
they're competing for the playoffs, man. The Crew, not a sport I
Champions recently.
follow, but they've won the what, it's not the World Cup, whatever cup it is,
MLS.
MLS Cup multiple times, right? 3 times, I think, 4 times. Anyways, then you look at Ohio State, man, and the closest comparison I can give to you on what the Aviators are kind of dealing with. You have Ohio State football. Compare that to Ohio State basketball. That's kind of what the Aviators are to the Columbus sports fan. Ohio State basketball. It is second fiddle.
You're there to fill our time.
It's second fiddle. And it's a great way to put it. You're there to fill our time. And if that is kind of what the attitude is with the Columbus sports fan, they're not going to support somebody who's not winning games. They're not.
Yeah.
And I felt like Columbus had a really golden opportunity here to a window of opportunity to win over the Columbus sports fan, and they had one season to do it.
You know what? The bad part is, or the funny thing is, too, we see this same Renegades team next Friday
Yeah,
in Columbus.
yeah. Um, I look for attendance to be less in week 2 than week 1, or sorry, game 2 in Columbus than game 1 in Columbus.
You
And
know what? Do you think because you're going to get a lot of people, I think, in town to come in for the spring game who may just say, "Hey, night before, I'm going to slide over to the Aviators, check it out."
I mean, it makes sense that they would try to do that. My If I was a betting man, I would bet the attendance will be less in game 2, especially if they lose this football game. If they start 0-3, the Columbus sports fan is not going to spend his money driving over there to the fairgrounds, to historic Crew Stadium off of I-71 on the east side of Columbus. They're not going to drive over there to watch the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I thought the Aviators had an opportunity here to do one of two things. They could have really leaned in heavy to the Ohio State nostalgia,
Which I think they should have.
and they didn't do it. They
No.
went with Ted Ginn Jr., which made sense. Hey, Teddy Ginn Jr., Ohio State legend. And then they chose 3 former Buckeyes. That's it. And what are 2 of the names we've talked about this weekend? Conley
And Sean
and
Wade.
now Shaun Wade on other teams. Steel
Well,
Chambers on Louisville. These are
Damon
guys
Arnett. Actually, isn't he in Memphis?
who,
Steele's in Memphis, isn't he?
no, he's Louisville.
No.
Linebacker for the Kings.
Uh,
There is no Memphis team.
oh, okay.
So you look at that missed opportunity to bring some of these former Buckeyes. But and again, I'm not sure how it's all structured, and maybe those players weren't even available to Ohio or were available to Columbus because they were like frozen on the teams they were with. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Aren't Damon Arnett and Antoine Jackson both floating around the league as well?
yes, I know Arnett is. Um, anyways, you don't hear none of the names that Columbus is throwing out there as their main players played at Ohio State. So
Closest
that
thing we got is the third string quarterback who
played at Harvard or Yale,
Is Julian Sands' brother,
right?
and he didn't play at Ohio
Who
State.
looks like him, by the way.
Yeah.
Scary.
Now, isn't Jerron Cage is actually second on the two deep depth
Correct.
chart for Columbus, isn't he?
Yeah. We call his name one time in that
I think
first
I
half?
saw him in one play last week.
There you go. So you look at all of that, Chris, and that's a major missed opportunity. If you're not going to be really good, then you need to make sure you appeal to the Buckeye fan in Columbus. And they didn't do it. And so not only did they not do that, but then they're not very good. They're an 0-2 football team. Should have the lead right now. They're coming out of halftime. They're going to have to kick the football to the Renegades. They're trailing by 4 after outplaying them statistically like you laid out. And the Columbus sports fan is going to look at that and they're going to say, I'm not watching that. I'm not going to spend money on that. I mean, look at our numbers right now on YouTube. And I'm not complaining. I'm just being real with everybody. We've got 10 people watching right now.
We do this with an Ohio State game. We have 100,
1,000.
150 easy. Yeah.
Yeah, 150 live and 1,000 after the fact.
1,000 after the fact. Absolutely.
So you have to try to tap into that fan base, that rabid fan base. And the UFL, I think, wanted to do that. They looked at Columbus and they thought fertile ground, football crazy community, you know,
Yeah.
swing and a miss. And this is something we've talked about on our podcast for years. How a UFL spring football team in Columbus would succeed if it was basically built with former Buckeyes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that we really did miss Columbus miss a major opportunity here. And you know, I don't know with year two, can they do it in year two? Will they still have enough of a following?
I mean, if they're good, they're obviously just trying to win football games, which they should. If you're going to have a football franchise, you want to try to go win football games. But anyways, all right, we're going to get the second half started off here.
I do have to
Here,
think.
here's a great question for you.
Yeah.
How much more excited would people be if the name on the back of that quarterback jersey said Jones and it was Cardale Jones?
Oh, huge! You should have heard the cheer they had from he was there last week.
Yeah.
You should have heard the cheer when he walked out on the field.
Opening second half kick is fumbled by number 5 Ward. He stumbles up to past the 25 before he's gobbled up by the Aviator special teams defense. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Renegades as they go from right to left on your screen. And despite the fact that they continue to just kind of sleepwalk their way through this football game, the Renegades do have a 14-10 lead. Ball on the 27-yard line to start off. And we're going to go with the fake handoff. Cornerback slipped.
I think
Receiver's
that
on the run. He's
did
pulled
he
down at
slip
about
or was he shoved? I didn't
the
see
line,
because
and
there's a
there is
flag.
definitely a flag. Are we thinking offensive pass interference?
I'm thinking it may have been. I think there may have been a push off.
And you are 100% correct. The receiver's pleading his case, but to no avail. We get to watch the Oh, it was a pick.
Little acting there. But
Yeah,
I'll tell you, it was definitely a pick.
yeah, he definitely picked him and pushed him. That was a good call. Good call. Move it
And
back.
the Oscar goes to.
Hey, it's all part of the game now, Chris.
It is. The flop is as important as the handoff anymore.
10 yards backwards. Inside the 20 now are the Renegades. It'll be 1st and 20. They've really hurt themselves on first down, you know it.
They have.
Ugh. Did
That
he
was a
just get it?
great
He just
catch.
got it all back and then some for a first down.
I'll tell
Butler
you
with the
what,
catch.
he almost got hit, but not quite.
Mm. Crazy opening plays here, man. It's the UFL. Let's just
It
throw a
is.
flag up into the camera while we're at it. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. They got all that and then some back. Reed doesn't like what he
Doesn't
sees.
get to the line of scrimmage.
Nope, we're going to lose a yard. Nice job by the defense. It'll be 2nd down, and we'll just call it 10. I think they're going to give them to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, the spots that these officials, man,
Are weird.
yeah, it is off a lot. They're just like, yeah, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Line of scrimmage. It's like he was a whole yard short, bro. 2nd down and 10. Max coverage again. Flow over the middle. First
Wow.
down. Cross midfield. Secondary getting picked on again. Here they come. I told you. I felt like Dallas was going to make an adjustment offensively in halftime. We've seen it. They're going max protect and they're running these deeper deeper routes and they're getting that protection that they need. And Reed is hitting them on the button. Carry up the middle for 4, setting down a 2nd and 6. Max protection. Give them time. Receivers are going to be open. He's a pretty accurate passer of the football. Is Austin Reed.
Yeah, Reed, he wouldn't be a 300-yard passer per game if he would.
2nd down and 6. They got 12-man personnel, 2 tight ends, both on the left side of the scrimmage, as well as 2 receivers stacked on the bottom of your screen. 1 running back in, also to the left. Everything's at the bottom of the formation. He looks that way, throws that way. Receiver catches it, does a little twirly whirly for 3 yards. It'll be a 3rd and 3. The twirly whirly,
The twirly whirly, I like it.
underrated move.
Is that like a more feminine version of the B button?
Yes, you got it.
I'll tell you what, that DB should feel lucky that somebody came in to clean that up because he had lost the grip on him. That guy was going to get the first.
Yeah, a lot of slipping happened defensively on this field. 3rd and 3, big 3rd down here. It's 4 down territory. Reed on the shotgun takes a step, dropped
Broken
pass,
up.
dropped it in his hands, missed it. Fortune with the fortunate breakup,
I believe that's who actually had the tackle on the last play.
setting up a 4th and 3. Boy, they do a lot of rub routes, don't they?
They do.
Here we go. Big 4th down.
This
They're
could be
going
a
for it.
big play for Columbus right here.
Ball's on the 39. They don't want to kick the field goal. Sends the man in motion. They go right to the guy he sent in motion. Breaks the first tackle. First down. He's still on his feet to the 25, to the 24. First down. And we got some extracurricular activity.
And Eric, let me ask you, who didn't see that coming? Because I'll tell you, I thought that was pretty obvious exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah. He sends that running back in motion. That's exactly where they go. And again, what did the receivers do? They all slanted in. Nice little kind of picking. They're just running rubs and picks. That's all they're doing. And Columbus needs to eventually change to a zone.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for Dallas. They got their chains out. They're driving. Two tight end set. Here's a handoff to the right. Bounces off the first guy, and he gets
nice.
crushed in the backfield. It'll be a 2nd and long. Who's got the best uniforms in the UFL?
Oh man,
I think it's a pick 'em between the St. Louis Battlehawks and the DC Defenders.
The DC uniforms are sharp.
Yeah, they're classic. 2nd and 11, and we've got again a lot of action.
Oh,
got him
nice.
in the backfield. That's a sack. And now we have a flag. Holding on the defense.
Holding.
That is why he was sacked. He was saying we had someone. Oh,
that's defensive holding.
That's a tackle.
Well, only in the sense of like most Aviators tackles, the runner didn't go down.
2nd down and 6. How's that a 2nd down? Okay. Spot foul, I guess, right?
Yep.
All right, we got our little RPO fake handoff. Oh, takes a shot. Oh, we've got a lineman coming in, taking a shot. This is fun. This is
no flags. No flags.
This is turning into the backyard football is what this is, man.
Haley, put your hands down because if they call one, they got to call the other.
Yep.
He had already given himself up. He was clearly into the slide.
Yeah, and he got a little forearm to the back of the neck. That should have been a flag. I understand the offensive lineman being angry with that. 2nd down and 7. Ball inside the 20. Reed. No, he actually had him. He had him. Crossing routes, had the guy open on the left. He was getting pressure up the middle. He throws it a little bit short. There's Dean Blandino to basically explain why they held the flags in their pockets and probably shouldn't have. Third and 7. Can they keep them to a field goal?
Blandino was explaining that was actually a legal hit under UFL rules. He can still make forcible contact once the slide has begun. However, it can't be to the head or neck. And he said it was not. It was actually the shoulder.
Shotgun, 3rd and 7. Ball on a wide open on a back shoulder. I mean, no one even had him.
No.
Went to the top of the screen. He needed 7. He gets 10. 1st down Renegades. It'll be a 1st and goal.
I think it's time for Columbus to start looking for a new defensive coordinator.
Eric. Yeah, he's overmatched, man.
This guy is above his ability.
It was my biggest concern going into the season was, picking a friend who was coaching high school football, now trying to coach men, professional guys, many of which who've had a cup of coffee in the NFL, and now all of a sudden, you're going to coach these guys and win. It was something I worried about.
Was he a Glenville coach?
No, he was coaching in California, I think. There's a run up the middle for about 7 yards, sets up 2nd and goal from the 1. Will they just turn around and hand it off again, Chris? That's my question. If they do, it'll be a touchdown. Here we go. Oh, quarterback keeper. I don't think he got it. He's short. 3rd and goal. Reed is trying to make the argument that he's crossed the goal line.
Because he crawled after everybody was piled up.
They move the ball back. They say, you did not cross the goal line, young man. It'll now be 3rd and short.
Oh, he wasn't close.
No, that's a good call. Here we go. Will they hand it off? I keep saying, just turn around and hand it off. There it is. Pitch, touchdown. Is the route on, Chris?
If Columbus can come back and score here, no. If Columbus does not put a touchdown on the board on this chance, then yes, it's on.
Thank you for the 10 of you who are watching. 2 more new subscribers today. Appreciate that very much. We're up to 188 subs currently. As the extra point will be attempted. This is the 3rd extra point in the game for the Renegades. Snap, hold, kick.
Ooh, close.
21-10. The Dallas is on a 21-3 run currently offensively here
Yes.
after Columbus went up 7-0 to start the game. We wondered how they would play with a lead. Well, we now know, Chris, not well.
About as well as they play without a lead.
Yeah.
And a fun fact for this game, McClendon, the Columbus quarterback, has as many touchdown passes for the Renegades as their quarterback, Reed, does.
I don't know how fun that is, but it's definitely a fact. I guess it's fun if you're a Renegade fan. As Chris pointed out, these two teams play again Friday night. They will do so, however, in Columbus. Any advantage do you think for the Aviators playing at home?
We'll see. We've only seen one home game this year, and I don't know.
Didn't seem like an advantage last week.
Didn't seem like a lot of an advantage, but they were playing. Let's be fair. They were playing against the defending league champions.
Yeah, and they're playing against the best team right now, I think, in the league as well.
Absolutely.
One of the best teams.
I did notice the UFL schedule is kind of interesting because you have Columbus has 3 home and homes.
Yeah.
They do this this week with Dallas. Their next opponent, the Houston Gamblers, they have a back-to-back with on Sunday, and then follow that up with a Friday game. So we're having short weeks is the other thing.
And you would think that you would want to play a rival 2 times in a row, or at least twice in the same season.
Yeah.
You would think that the natural rival for Columbus would be Louisville.
You would think.
But that is not, they don't get to play them twice. You would also think you would want both those 2 teams to play each other because they're both expansion teams.
Right.
And again, that's not the case. That's not how they set it up.
Their expansion, their geographic rivals, which, if you're looking to make money, that's a good reason to do it.
Yeah, because you're within driving distance to fill up those stadiums that they're playing in. So, although I did you watch the DC Defenders game yesterday at all?
I watched part of it.
The beer snake made its return to
did not see that.
Yes, to television yesterday. That's one of the great UFL traditions that was started back when the XFL and has continued on. Looks like the offensive line is getting a little love on television here.
What's really funny is the 2 closest teams, arguably, maybe the 3 closest teams, are the teams that we have on our schedule one time over the season. Maybe the 4 closest, actually.
Yeah, Louisville, DC, and St. Louis.
And honestly, if you look, because the other teams are Dallas, Houston, and Birmingham, Orlando might be the 4th closest.
Short kick. Will it stay in bounds? It will not. It goes out of bounds. That baby's going to go to the 40. Kickoffs in the UFL are just terrible.
They're not good. And the landing zone thing drives me nuts.
Yeah, it's... Let's just give them the ball on the 35 and call it a day.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, you do this. I know it's like, well, that's what they do in junior high. At this point, if that's the way you're going to go about doing it, just do it. I mean, go back to the regular kickoffs. I mean, even college kickoffs now are pretty much non-existent. You just kick it in the end zone.
Uh-huh.
All right, Columbus gets the ball on the 40. It's do or die. I feel like this is a do or die drive. I really do. Clinton just throwing it away. Second down
That
and
looked to me
10.
like Martin shorter on that one a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean he got pressure up the middle. There was a you know, Martin's coming across the
No,
middle.
not the passer. It looked like Martin, the receiver. Yeah, didn't even throw his hands up there.
Well, no, that's because he was supposed to sit down. He stopped his route. He sits down and McClendon
Gotcha.
throws it like he's still running his route. Miscommunication, I guess. Second down and 10. They got 15-man personnel, two tight ends, actually three tight ends. So this is a 13-man personnel. Handoff to White. He breaks the first tackle. He spins out of it.
He's
He's
in
going to go
trouble.
backwards. We're losing. We're going back 10, 12 yards now. What are we doing?
All right, second down. What can we do? Let's go out there and lose 10. Break.
I mean, I know you're trying to make something happen. I know you missed the tackle, bud, but you can't go backwards. I mean, no. Just you're not Barry Sanders.
You know what's worse though is you didn't see a single Columbus offensive player over there trying to help out
No.
either.
No, there's just no continuity offensively. The play dies. The body language is getting to be bad.
False start or timeout.
Flag. How about something worse?
That's what I'm saying. False start probably. No,
Before
it
the
was a
penalty,
timeout.
timeout, Columbus. Boy, I don't blame you for cutting it short last week, buddy. Whew.
Oh, and this game's a lot more competitive than last week's was. This is just wow. It's hard to watch. It really as a football fan who follows Ohio State, like you said, is used to seeing good, typically uh, very good fundamental football. Uh, this is not. This is just not.
Looking ahead to the rest of the season here. Next Friday night, 8 p.m. You've got on Fox the Renegades at home. Back on the road following Sunday, April 26th at Houston. Followed by, like you mentioned again, another Friday night game at home in historical Crew Stadium on Fox. That's the Week 6 game. And then the last four games of the season are a away game on Friday night in the Dome at St. Louis, a home game, nope, on another away game on Sunday afternoon in Birmingham. Then the last two games at home versus Birmingham and against that rival, Louisville. Is it possible Columbus and Louisville both go into that Week 10 game at
Looking
0
for a
and
win.
9 each,
Yeah, I
playing
think it is
for a
possible.
win?
If as I'm watching this defense, I'm going to say yes, it's possible. Um, but I'll tell you, I think those last 2 weeks are going to be very telling. I think they're going to be very telling if we have another year of spring football in Columbus next year. Because as bad as this team's going to be, are the Ohio fans going to get behind it? Are they going to still show up? Are they going to show out? And are they going to cheer for this team and let the people, let the league know, let the owners know, hey, we want spring football in Columbus? Or are they just going to stop showing up?
Well, it's like I said, you had a short window here to make a statement to get the support. Columbus that first week, man, that first week was very exciting for the UFL to see. UFL Spring 2028 new stadium. What was that all about? Hmm. All right, 3rd and 19, Chris. Ball on the 31.
Statue of Liberty play. The annexation of Puerto
The
Rico.
annexation of Puerto Rico. It's coming our way right here. Here we go. McClendon
That's
throws
going
an
to be picked.
interception.
He got hit.
Yep. Is he looking for someone to toss back to?
He was. That's exactly what he was doing.
There's your football game, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
think so.
Yep.
And McClendon leisurely walking off looks a little shaken up.
This is not good. At this point, I think you need to call it like it is. Oh yeah, he's in pain. He you could tell when he got hit and went down, he was not feeling it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we may be looking at Jalen Morton coming in to finish this one out. Yeah, look at him. He looked like Brett Favre in the Bounty Gate game, trying to pull himself up off the field there.
All right, Reed now with a chance to put the game away. Columbus needs to come up with an interception here of some kind. That ain't gonna do it.
Nope.
There's 6-7 yards on first down on the slant. Receiver spins out, moves, fights for a couple more yards, setting up a 2nd and short.
Is this a mentally beaten team right now?
Yeah, I
Uh,
think
I feel like this is a team that, yeah.
they
Go ahead.
came in with, I think, a good game plan. They can't adjust.
Yeah.
They struggle to make adjustments, specifically on defense. McClendon over on the sideline
He's
trying to
grimacing as he's throwing.
his hand.
He's
He
hurt.
hurt his hand. He's trying to shake the pain out of his hand. 2nd down and 3 for league leading Austin Reed. Under center, turns around, fakes the handoff. Here comes the blitz. He just throws it up to the corner of the end zone.
Oh,
Almost a
whoa,
one-handed
whoa,
grab.
whoa, whoa! I don't know about interference on that. Looked to me like they were both making a play for the ball.
Reed's trying to get a call from the official for roughing the passer, but he is going to get the defensive interference from the corner when he tossed that thing up to the end zone.
Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah,
It was before. Yeah.
grabbed his arm, hand, jersey, had everything, had all of it. He's trying to undress the guy. Never turned his head. And then here's the oh yeah.
That's an argument for a late hit.
All right, 1st and goal from the 6, ladies and gentlemen. There's the fake handoff. He's looking to the end zone. Oh, going to get hit again. Throws it out the back of the end zone, and we have another flag in the end
Or
zone.
are they going to get a defensive holding?
I'm guessing another pass interference holding play. Yep. Here it comes. Personal foul. Face mask defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down. Renegades. It'll be 1st and goal from the 3 now.
If Columbus does have football back next year, I got a feeling we're going to need to see some coaching shakeups.
Yeah, as much as I like Ted Ginn Jr. and I wish him nothing but the best, with his personal issues here. He was over his skis, dude.
I agree. No head coaching experience to that point. I mean,
Very little coaching experience
right.
in general. Touchdown. Slant for the score. Butler with the catch. Renegades go up 27-10. About to make it 28-10. Chris with an extra point.
Now, if you want to see the difference between being an athlete and being a quarterback, watch that throw that Reed just made. He put it on the outside exactly where it had to be. Your receiver almost boxed out to take it on the outside.
That's beautiful. Yeah, he's
That
just
that is the difference between being an athlete and being a quarterback right there is that type of play.
it's a heck of a catch too.
It was.
All right, here's the extra point. Snap, hold, kick. 28-10. It gets to a point when you're watching these games, and if you're trying to be a fan of a team, where in all honesty, you're like, I mean, trying to find answers, trying to be positive, but
And you want to be. You do want to be positive. I mean, and let's just say it from a greedy standpoint, Eric. We're trying to build a channel up here focused on this team, and they're not giving us a whole hell of a lot of good to talk about right now.
yeah,
You got your head coach getting arrested, and then we're consistently putting bad product on the field.
they made a bunch of personnel changes this week. I think to just try to shake things up.
Yep.
And I get that as a kick goes out of bounds. Um, I get why they're doing that. I understand it. Um, it doesn't matter at this point. You don't have the foundation to build on. You look at the identity of football team, and I know it's tough because you're an
Yeah.
expansion team, right? But what do you think the identity of this football team is?
I don't think they have one.
They ain't got one. They were trying to establish one, and the man who was trying to establish it is sitting in the clink. All right, 28-10. Now you're down 18 points. It's
Which is
you're
still only a 2-possession game.
you're right where you normally have been. All
But in the
right,
UFL, it is still just a 2-possession game, Eric. That's the
correct.
beautiful thing.
Nice little crossing route, hits him in stride, first down.
Playing with a sense of urgency. Looks like we're going a little bit of tempo.
Yep, no huddle. Yeah, look at that start and look what's happened since. 5 of 11, 41 yards, 2 interceptions. McClendon takes the snap. And another first
Nice.
down, cross midfield.
And this is what we need to see. These type of he seems to flourish in tempo.
Don't have to think.
Yeah.
Get the ball out of your hands quick. That's the main thing is he's got to get the ball out of his hands quick. And if there's nothing there, run. Sitting there in the pocket does nothing for him in this team. Run. See, now look, he made a decision to run gets about 7-8 yards.
Yeah.
Not open, go. His decision making has to be quicker. And it sounds like I'm picking on the guy, and I'm really not. I'm just
No, he needs to be a guy who's a maximum 2 reads and go.
yes. They
Look
hand the
for your
ball off
first.
this time, bounce to the right, going to get 3 yards and a first
Pruitt back
down.
or Love it back
Love
in
it.
there, rather.
Love
Pruitt
it
knows
with the
got to throw the
carry.
rounds.
I tell you what, let's go back to that when it was 14-10 and they didn't kick the field goal. 28-13. You score a touchdown here. You're making that score 28-20.
Yeah.
So, and you're right in this thing, right? So, I know at the time you liked it. I didn't. I felt like you were chasing points way too early in that game.
And I get that, but this seems like a team, and this is where I'm coming from with it. This is a team with such fragile confidence that if you get this, I think it gives them the confidence to move forward.
Yeah.
However, if you don't, you get what we're seeing right now.
Yep. Yeah, it was a gamble. It was definitely a gamble, and it was a gamble that didn't go in his favor, but it was a gamble. 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Columbus with the ball inside the 25-yard line at the 24 of the Renegades. Again, fast read. McClendon throws it off. He gets it off on a little screen. Nice block. We got a receiver heading down the sideline, inside the 10, inside the 5. He's still fighting. He's still fighting.
Trying. He got down to what, about the 2?
Yeah, 2 or 3. Wells caught it on the 26. And then he would not go out of bounds. He was not going to quit.
Was that a twirly?
That was a whirly-twirly. All right, we got a handoff up the middle.
That's a touchdown.
There we go.
Now, you've still got almost a whole quarter left. Do you just take the 1, or do you go for the 3 here and try to cut it to 9?
Well, you're down 12, maybe 2. Maybe you go for the 2 to try to make it a 10-point game. Nice job by Wells Jr. on that play. And they're going for the 1. They could have gone for the 3-pointer too, trying to make it a 9-point game. Right. But
that's what I say. You do that, it's a 1-score game, but that's a risk.
Yeah, the extra point is good. You know,
and they're not completely out of this yet, Eric, but they do have to make a stop on this possession, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things because, you think about, especially in professional sports, there's almost always runs that are made by teams who are down by a lot. You see it in the NBA all the time.
But a lot of times what happens is you use up all your gas on the run and then you fall.
Well,
we saw that week 1.
I can't help but when you see things like this, I always go back to the mistakes you made early in the game and think to myself, what if? It's just nature, human nature, I guess, to do that. But
I'll tell you, did you end up getting a chance to go back and watch last week's game?
Yeah, I watched it, yeah.
So, how about the Leon Lett play?
Yeah. There was a lot in that game, Chris. There was a lot going on there.
There was a whole lot.
All right. We're at 28-17 now as Columbus kicks it off. Ball gets into the landing zone, but didn't make it, did it?
Nope.
Jeez. How hard is that to do? I'm not a kicker, so far be it me to criticize the kicker, but you would think a kicker can kind of put it inside a 15-yard window every single time.
I think so.
Apparently not.
Oh.
All right. Columbus down 11. There's 26 seconds left in the third quarter. Austin Reed is 15 of 23 for 120 yards so far today. Columbus has really kept him under his average. Oh! Almost got the pick. That'd have been close. That would have helped, Chris.
Oh, and the quarterback's being a little bit whiny here.
I think he's complaining at the tight end. Didn't the tight end like stopped his route and just kind of turned around and was acting like, "Where do I go?" Kind of got in the way of Reed's passing angle. Yeah, that's what he's Neuheisel's complaining about. That's the quarter.
Well, it was a good way to start or to end the quarter for the Aviators, Eric. I mean, this is a team that we thought was completely out of it, maybe starting to climb a little bit back in. They got a long way to go, though.
They're going to
And
need
as
some
we
luck.
stand,
They're going to need some luck. They're going to need some turnovers. They're going to need some
they're going to
three
have
and
to create their
outs.
own luck.
Yeah, there you go. It's a good way to put it. Creating your own luck.
Right now, though, McClendon out there doing, a good job percentage wise, completing 72% of his passes. The problem is the two picks. That is really the difference in this game right now is these two picks. He does have a touchdown pass. You got Reed who's starting to put some numbers together, up to 62.5% completion rating. He's got 120 yards, two touchdown passes. On the ground, neither of these teams really running a lot. You've got 65 total yards for the Renegades, 33 total yards for the Aviators. Both teams have a score on the ground. And then both these quarterbacks really, really getting it out to a lot of different players. 18 catches for the Aviators, 15 for the Renegades. No individual player has more than 3 catches. Columbus has 3 guys with 3 catches, those being Martin, Chisholm, and Lovett. Fields, our linebacker Fields, is now the top tackler on the team with 7 tackles. Miller has 5. You look over to the Renegades, their top defensive performer, 8 tackles. Sean Wade, of course, has the interception. And then Fluellen has 3 tackles, an interception, a pass deflected as well. And last but not least, these guys also have 2 sacks as well. So I'm telling you, statistically, this game you'd think is a lot closer. However, those 2 costly picks, Eric, the 2 costly picks is why the Renegades right now hold an 11-point lead.
When you don't have as many guys, as many dudes, you cannot give extra possessions to another team. I mean, they gave them, they got pick 6, so you gift wrapped them 7 points right there. And then the other turnover led to 7 more points. So, especially when you know the strength of your team is not your defense, you can't continue to put your defense in bad situations. The Aviators need to hold on to the football, number 1. And number 2, they need to sustain drives.
Yeah.
Even if you don't score, make it hard for the other team to drive down the field on your defense by pinning them deep.
Yes.
Play field position ball if you have to. We saw it in the first week. They almost pulled out that one against Orlando by playing field position ball. But at the end of the day, again, major mistake. They fumbled the opening kickoff to Orlando and led to 7 points. I mean, bada boom, bada bing. You put yourself in a 7-point hole. You cannot continue to do that through turnovers. And I know that athletically, the strength of this team is to play offensively, the lean on your offense, but you got to help your defense out. 1st and 10, 2nd and 10 for the Renegades. There's a drop pass, setting up a 3rd and 10 for the Renegades. 3 and out, man. They need it.
3 and out would be huge. 3 and out would be absolutely huge.
And it is raining there now in Dallas. You can see the rain coming down on your television screen. 3rd and 10, ball from the 40. Reed under center. He's got plenty of time. He throws it over the middle of the tight end. They knock him down at the 48, 49-yard line. He's just short. Well, what do you do here if you're new Heisel? Looks like he's going to go for it or send in the punting team here. What's he going to do?
I'll tell you what. I look for him to just let this thing run down. Let's take a timeout. Let's talk about it.
They're going for it. 4th and 1, and here comes a timeout for Columbus. Were we not set and ready? This is a big. I don't hate this timeout. It's a big play.
Here's the thing. I almost feel like if they would have let it run, they would have had to take the timeout. I really think that Dallas would have taken the timeout to talk about it. I think they wanted to see what defensive set they were in. Columbus is putting themselves in a bad way with timeouts again.
Yep, got one left. And now Reed is walking to the sideline like they are going to punt. So it was a little cat and mouse there by New Heisel.
And they got Haley to burn a timeout, which I think was important to them.
Are we about to burn another timeout? We are about to burn another timeout because we had 12 guys on the field. There's the punt. We field this thing inside the 15. Can we break a tackle? We cannot. You gotta get to the 15-yard line. 85 yards is where they have to march, Chris, to score another touchdown and make this a one-possession game here in the fourth quarter. You said it. We're not out of it. We could have some late fourth quarter dramatic stuff happen. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Is the rain helping us all of a sudden here?
You know what? Honestly, I don't know who the rain benefits. I really don't. I think it obviously hurts the passing game, but us having the more athletic quarterback, having a full complement of running backs, maybe that's helpful. But us playing up against the clock is not.
13:41 to go. Ball on the 16-yard line for the Aviators. Nice passing catch. Nice little out route for 11 yards and a first down. Chisholm with the catch. Sets up 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. And again, one route, one read. It's simplifying the offense for him.
Yes. The old KISS theory. Keep it simple, stupid.
1-2 reads, not open, run. I mean, that is essentially what I tell him. Tight end goes in motion, sets off the right tackle. Nice little screen pass.
Oh,
give him a yard.
He's claiming he should have got a face mask.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been a face mask there. Big number 69, Davis gets away with it, makes the tackle. It's a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
But it was positive, and that's something we haven't seen a lot on first down.
For either team.
Yeah.
Handoff on 2nd down, up the middle, breaks a tackle, still turning his feet, goes Tayua. And he's going to get pretty close, about 3 yards shy of a first down. Nice little carry for 6 yards. We'll call it 3rd and 3, Chris.
And again, using tempo. And this is where watch for McClendon to use his athleticism.
Yep. Fakes the handoff, looking downfield, takes off running, and they read it. He gets back to the line of scrimmage.
A lot of that was the fact that 67 did not hold his block at all.
Was that a delayed run, or was that a one read and just take it and run?
I think it was a delayed run.
They actually gave him a 1-yard gain on that, Chris. 4th and 2.
They're going to go.
They got to. Time is running out on them. They're only on the 34. They need to get to the 36. And
False start.
a flag.
Delay a game.
Oh my
They
God.
got to kick it now. They got to kick it, and they got to play solid defense. Here's the thing: you're getting to the time now where Dallas is going to start just running the ball.
Yeah, and that scares me because they haven't done that all game. They probably should have been the whole game. I feel like they were trying to play their style, which obviously you want to, but kind of played into Columbus's hands that Dallas is in love with their passing game. I mean, DC proved last week all you got to do is just run it right at us, man. Well, there's the punt. Can we get a fumble on the return possibly or something here? Catches it at the 15, goes
Nice
to his
coverage.
right. Good coverage. He didn't even make it to the 20.
Flag.
Unsportsmanlike conduct for throwing the football. That's what, if we were in college, that's what it would be.
Is it going to be
Hold.
that a gunner went too early, or is it going to be holding in half the distance to the goal?
It's back like it was under the holding area because of where he's walking to. A lot of penalties in this football game.
Illegal block in the back.
Half the distance to the goal. It's going to be inside the 10.
Columbus catches a break, and with these guys down deep, a turnover here could change the entire complexion of this game.
Yeah. Oh, well, Chris, what we can do is we can start to talk a little bit about what we want to talk about tonight on the live show.
I
We've
was
got,
actually just going to ask you what we got going on tonight.
yeah, well, we've got a former Buckeye coming in to be our special guest, Joe Brown. He
Okay.
was a former offensive lineman at Ohio State. Played for the Seattle Seahawks when he went to the NFL, and then he left the NFL. He was one of a handful of guys who was in the NFL who left after 9/11 and joined the military.
Oh, wow.
So Joe Brown left and went to the military and was a part of the Desert Storm after 9/11. Was born in Columbus, Ohio in 1977, and then moved to Arizona where he played his high school football at Catalina Foothills High School in Tucson, Arizona, before coming back to Ohio State under in the late 90s and played for both John Cooper and then actually John Cooper, and then was drafted in 2001 for the Seattle Seahawks. So was a part of those last few years of Coop. Anyways, he'll be
Yeah.
on the show tonight. Sean will be with me as well. It'll be Joe, myself, and Sean. What do you think we should talk about, Chris?
Oh, man. I think maybe we should talk, obviously, a little bit of offensive line, Eric. I mean,
Offensive
there's so
line
much you
chat.
could talk about with somebody who served in the military as well. Obviously, maybe touch on his military service, because
Oh yeah,
there's definitely no greater honor. As great as it is to be a Buckeye, I don't know if there's any greater honor than being able to serve your country.
absolutely. I want to touch on Teddy Ginn Jr.
Yeah.
As well. We'll talk offensive line talk. We'll talk Teddy Ginn Jr. And then the third topic we'll open it up for whatever anybody else wants to talk about with Joe. So any questions anybody might have, you can submit those tonight as well, live there on our other
Number
YouTube channel, the OHIO podcast. Go check it out if you're a
number
Buckeye fan.
73 for the Buckeyes.
Yeah. That's the plan. We need to. I'll have to be working on them show notes here as soon as this game's over. Getting that out to everybody for tonight's show. All right, here we go. It is first and goal from the 10-yard line. That's where we're going to start for the Renegades. And there's a fake handoff and nice catch by the receiver. Give them 11, 12 yards and a first down. I tell you, man, they just don't want to run the football.
Yeah. And
I
I'll tell
don't
you
get
what,
it.
I still think that's a mistake on their part.
It's going to come back and bite them against a better team. I'm sorry, it is. If I was a betting man, I would not bet that Dallas wins this whole thing because
They're too in love with the pass.
yeah, you're up 11 points against a team that struggles to stop the run, and you're just playing with fire. If one of these defenders is able to jump the route, man, nice catch, slip
We're
and fall,
playing
gain of
way
8.
off again. We are
We
still
are.
playing way off. I don't get that. You've got to be aggressive. When you are down like this, you've got to be aggressive.
One of these players is eventually going to put it, take it into their own hands to just jump a route. I mean, that's what Renegades did on that pick 6. They just jumped that route, man. Second down and 2. Will they run it here? Hand off up the middle. Big hole. First down. Breaks the tackle. Give them about 9 yards. To say that to me, that's what I would be doing every time. If I'm Xavier Suafilo, the offensive line coach, or excuse me, the offensive, whoever the OC is for Dallas. It's not him. He's the offensive line coach. I'm just running the football. I don't care that Reed has the record right now as the league leader. Just keep running the football. Columbus ain't gonna stop it, man. That's their Achilles heel, dude. There we go.
And we're
Up the
seeing it
middle.
now.
5 yards. First down or 5 yards more. It'd be set a 2nd and 5. And what's the clock doing? Tick tock, tick tock.
It's Noel Mazzone. I wonder if he's in relation to Gus.
Doubt it. Second and 4, he got 6 on that first down carry. Reed under center. 1 second left on the play clock. Hands it off to the left. Comes back to the right. Gets 2 more yards. 3. Sets up a 3rd and short. And now they're running it. First down here, especially if he runs it.
It was Noel Mazzone. It's Gus Malzahn. Malzahn. I don't know. Sounds close enough to me.
I knew what you meant, Chris. Don't worry. 3rd and 2, Reed in the shotgun. 3 receiver set. Will they actually hand it off here? 1 second to go, and they got to call a timeout. Took a little bit too long getting the play clock in. And the Renegades are going to talk it over.
Yeah, I really feel like you just give him the ball. Win, lose, or draw, you give him the ball. You let him run it here. Whatever happens, happens. But you don't take a chance of putting it up in the air.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what they do here. I'm with you. I run the football here.
Now, you are on the wrong side of the 50, so you're going to have to go for it either way. So,
are you? Are they past midfield?
Looks like they're at the. No, I'm sorry. They're still on their side. They're still at their 47.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't get it. They can still punt.
I thought they were.
And they probably pin Columbus pretty deep with a good punt here too. So, well, they are same set. 4 receiver set. Reed in the shotgun, running back flank to his left. Moves the tight end in motion. Cross the line of scrimmage. And we're going to pass it.
What
One-on-one
a
coverage.
catch.
And that was pass interference. And he said
Oh, they're saying it's
incomplete. He found
incomplete.
that was pass interference, though, man. He was draped all over the receiver. Looked like he tackled him before the ball. Even Reed is saying, "Come on, man, that's pass interference."
I don't know.
I don't know how
I
that's
don't
not a
think so.
catch.
Watching the slow mo, I don't think it was interference.
I also don't think that was a drop. I think that was a catch.
Yeah.
Unless it hit the turf before the camera angle got there. Well, here comes the challenge, right?
Do we have instant replay in the UFL?
Yes, we do.
Here's the thing. Do you have enough to overturn it? You know, it looks loose in his arms. I can't tell for sure.
It definitely hits the turf, but are his arms around it is the question. Because after he turns around, it kind of
But
bobbles up into.
if it moves, well, even if his arms are under it, if it moves, did he complete the catch? That's what it always comes down to. Ultimately, is an objective opinion of did he complete the process, or a subjective opinion, I should say, of did he complete the process. And that's the problem.
They're going to call this a catch because he's already looking at where the play happened, where he was at when he caught the football. So this is going to be a catch. All right, so
Here's the thing: they're not.
we took all that time to decide that we were going to go ahead and challenge the call. Like, why wasn't the play clock? Where was the clock at, man?
Well, here's the thing too, Eric. Uh, it sounds like they're challenging not challenging the catch. They're challenging if it was interference or not.
Nah, you can't challenge interference.
That is exactly what they're challenging. I was just listening to the feed. Blandino said no pass interference.
Yep.
That's what they were refused. And they're saying the juggle.
Now he throws it. Now is he challenging it?
No, did you hear him? He threw it at the official and said, "Here, you might as well take this. I don't need it anymore." Oh, I love Rick Neuheisel. He literally just says, "Take it. I don't need it anymore."
Well, if he doesn't have another challenge, then he doesn't have a need for it, I guess. So here you go. Oh, well, they're gonna have to. Well, what are they gonna do here? They got to punt, right? They're gonna pin us.
They have to punt. You can't take a risk of not punting. And whoa, you almost lost your co-host to the ground.
Here's the punt. Ball on the 48. So a chance to pin Columbus. Will Columbus go after this one? Looks like they're setting up to go block it.
Just don't hit the kicker.
It gets off cleanly. And we're going to field this kick inside the 20. Got a nice little seam. Gets past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
I'll
Goes
take
white. Yeah. It's not bad. That was
Was
Wells
that Walker?
Jr. Wells.
Or Wells, really?
So they don't pin us deep. They only flip about 26 yards of field.
That could be huge for Columbus.
And
if they can come out and take advantage.
Still not out of the woods yet.
7:36 left in the game.
It's one of those. Did we gain another new subscriber through this?
I believe so.
Yeah, up to 189 now. 190. 190.
New Aviators fan in the chat, Eric.
All right, buddy.
Davion.
He
what
says,
do we
"What?"
think There's a lot to cover there, King
Has basically
Dagon.
been the last hour we've been talking about it.
For me, I think there's two real big needs. One is the run defense is absolutely atrocious. This team has to. At this point, can we find Tough Borland somewhere and see if he can come out and fill in at linebacker, because we need somebody who can stop the run. And for all his criticisms, he could do that. Uh, but run defense, and then obviously the right side of our offensive line is not real strong. We need some help on that right side of that offensive line, because that's where people are typically leaking through on, and that's what's causing our quarterback to be under pressure as much as he is. I think our skill positions are not terrible. I think we got some solid players at the skill positions. I think we got a great athlete at quarterback. To me, it's all about those two position, or about the offensive line as a position group, and then the defense itself as a whole when it comes to stopping the run. And then obviously, I think one of the biggest things is just the fundamentals. You know, we are Ohio State guys, so I'm going to throw it out there. It's something Ryan Day says all the time: do the routine things routinely, and that's what we're not doing.
Yep. Yeah, you're giving your opponents opportunities to take advantage of your mistakes and just basically giving them points. You're really putting yourself behind the eight ball. When you spot your opponent 6 points, 7 points, multiple times every game, it's really hard to win football games. I remember when I was in high school, Chris, I had a coach, and it was offensive to me at first, but then it started to make sense. 9 times out of 10, you don't beat your opponent; they beat themselves.
Correct.
And that's really where Columbus is at right now. They have consistently beat themselves through the first 3 weeks of this season in the UFL, consistently. Now here they have a chance here to kind of pull a rabbit out of the hat with 7:36 to go in this game with the football down 11, but let's see what they do, because this is where McClendon has he looks
This
great,
is where he's been
and then
trouble in the
just
past.
just throws an interception. So here we go, three receiver set. Tight end goes in motion, goes back in motion across the line of scrimmage. McClendon, one receiver, throws it. Wells Jr. breaks that first tackle, still on his feet.
Wow!
Tackles.
Just ducked under one guy while stepping over another.
You know, I'm going to say something. I don't know that any team has a better receiver core than what Columbus has got.
Well, and I think that's fair, and I think there's a pretty daggone good reason why.
Uh,
You know, we can say what we want about the issues, but Ted Ginn Jr., we just put him on our Mount Rushmore of number sevens the other day, Eric.
yeah.
And there's a reason why, because he was a standout at receiver.
Uh-oh.
A little trickery.
Yeah, little
Look at
reverse.
McClendon getting out there throwing a block.
Give him 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2. But here's my issue with this. It's not necessarily McClendon who can't get him the football. He can get him the football.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have as much time to do so. The offensive line really at times has been the Achilles heel of this offense. The offense is definitely the better side of the football in between the two. Three receivers set on 2nd and 3. McClendon's going to throw it to the back out of the backfield. He's going to get out of bounds at a first down, about 8-9 yards.
White is such a smart player.
He is. He's good.
He is a smart player. He understands, trying to stop that clock. Even if, and I'm not sure exactly what the rules are on the UFL. I'm still learning those as far as the clock going when you go out of bounds and such. But even if it's just till the play resets, you're saving precious seconds.
Yeah. All right, under 6 to go. Clock is ticking. Columbus needs to hurry up. They're down 2 scores. They only have 1 timeout remaining. Ball is crossed the 50, so they cannot punt now. Nor should they, nor would they. McClendon finally, after not seeing anybody open, takes off running. He's going to get 8 more. And the clock does stop as he got out of bounds. 5:35 to go. So the clock stops until they reset the football, is my guess.
Although they're not doing a real good job of that, because I'll tell you what, they've stopped it for a second before the ball was reset. They started it again. It
Yep, they
also
need to
ran for
hurry,
about
and they're huddling up. So let's go. I think the play here for Columbus is to get a touchdown, and then they're going to go for that
the 20
fourth,
yards.
yeah, the 4th and 20 or whatever as like an onside kick. Oh, McClendon don't have a lot of time. Nice job to the tight end. First down. Ooh, is he hurt?
Oh, that he took a shoulder shot there. He's got
Yeah,
a
he
stinger
took
if
it.
nothing else.
Yeah, he's back up. Tough guy.
Well, the cows don't take a day off, Eric.
That is correct. Shout out. Shout out to Cade Stover.
The toughest linebacker slash
Defensive end
tight
slash
end
tight
slash
end.
yeah.
All right, 1st and 10, 4.5 to go. Ball on the 32. Columbus is driving. Renegades with the blitz. The offensive line picks it up, goes to the
Going
end
deep.
zone. He lays out
Oh,
short.
just so close off the fingertips.
Wells, if he wouldn't have held up, he kind of stopped there. If he keeps going, that might be a tutty. Watch him kind of hesitate his route right here. He didn't really hesitate too much there.
That was a great throw, though.
Was it though?
Well, I mean, he led the guy. He put it in a position where the defensive back couldn't get to it, which has been one of his big problems here recently.
True that. Under 4 to go, 2nd and 10. McClendon looking, no one open. He's going to take off running. He's going to break a tackle. He gives himself up at the 24, setting up a 3rd and short. We're down to 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. If we get this thing in the end zone, Chris, we're going to have less than 2 minutes and 1 timeout left, unless we score here. 3rd and 2. McClendon's got bunch set to the top.
They're gonna blitz.
Handoff up the middle. Jump cut goes White. He's going to go to the left and get a first down inside the 20. New set of downs for the Aviators.
I still contend, Eric, as rough as this game's looked, I still think it's the best the Aviators have looked this season.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they played like this against Orlando. They're going to win by 2 scores. And that team is 3-0.
King Davion wants to know who's some of the guys in the league we think NFL teams might take a look at.
In the league, or
yeah.
just, well, one of them's playing quarterback right now for the Dallas Renegades. He's going to get a look as a backup quarterback in the NFL.
Austin Reed, I think he was drafted by Chicago or spent some time in Chicago at one point.
The receiver who just caught the ball there for Columbus, T. Martin, he's considered one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the league. He played for Tennessee, didn't he?
T. Martin was a quarterback for Tennessee, wasn't he?
Was he the quarterback? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's definitely one of the best receivers, dude.
Was that can't be the same T. Martin?
Yeah, I think it is. Second and goal. McClendon backing up, wide open, touchdown. We got it.
Nice.
Wells Jr. with the catch.
No, this is Tay Martin. It's not T.
Where did he play?
Tay Martin played for Oklahoma State.
Who is the color?
No. You're not going to connect it. T. Martin was a national championship winning quarterback at Tennessee. I believe he was the last quarterback to win a national championship for Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, this is his better cousin, Tay. Oh, after that score, we're going for 2? Here we go. All right, Chris, we're setting up for a 2-point conversion.
By the way, T and Tay are not related.
Okay. White goes in motion, 3 receivers set. McClendon looks to the top. He throws it to White, bobbles it, and he actually caught it, but he didn't get in. And so it's 28-23.
Was he maybe trying to do that to make it a 3-point game with the thought of possibly trying to play defense? I can't believe that would be his thought with only one timeout
With
left.
only one timeout, that seems ridiculous. No.
But you have to think they're going with the onside opportunity here. The 20 yard. You say it was 20 yards.
I think it's 20, I think. Well, we're about to find out.
It's a 4th and 12.
12?
Fourth
From
and
where?
12 scrimmage play from your own 28. So you
So
can't get a
basic.
first down.
You don't. If you don't get the first down,
Yes.
you're handing them points. It's the game. It's the game. You know, it's basically an onside kick, and since you can't do onside kicks anymore, it's a way to make it up for it. So I get it. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
I think it can make it exciting, and I think Columbus, 4th and 12 is not out of their realm of possibility.
Updating the graphic for everybody.
I really feel like this is going to be exciting. This is going to be really exciting, and watch out, because if they get this, now here's my question: is this a timed series?
Probably not, right?
Okay.
190 subs now. Appreciate that. All the new subscribers we got today. I think we got 4 or 5 new. Didn't we get 4 new subscribers?
4 new subscribers. It was 186 when we came on.
Yep. There you go. So 4 new today. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already.
So yeah, here's the rule that they're probably going to use. They get a 4th and 12 play from their own 28. If they convert the 12 yards, they keep the ball, just a successful onside kick. If they fail, the opposing team takes over at that spot.
Yep, there you go. And that's the game, because Columbus has got one timeout, and basically from that point on, it's one first down ball game. You can wrap it up. Hey, you know what? Give Columbus credit for this.
They have fought.
They fight all 4 quarters. They haven't been on the winning side yet. It's going to happen at some point, right, Chris? I mean, it's law of averages tell you.
Oh, yeah.
At some point, you're going to win one, man. Oh, Joe Testator and Jordan Rogers waiting in St. Louis. The Renegades are going to play next. They get the Birmingham Stallions. St. Louis is the better football team there.
St. Louis, no, Birmingham. Birmingham actually has a former Bengals quarterback as their head coach. Do they not?
And Alabama Crimson Tide, AJ McCarron. There he is, speaking of the devil. Look at that, he's out there throwing the football like he's warming up the play.
He probably still could. Get knocked around a little bit.
AJ McCarron is going to take this coaching experience he's getting as head coach, and he's going to translate
Alabama's
that
next head
to
coach.
Alabama's. And he's good. Now, I'm not going to become next head coach, but he will coach at Alabama after this. Quarterback coach, possibly. Future offensive coordinator. Maybe even down the road, head coach of the Crimson Tide. That's my prediction. All right, each team's got one timeout left. 1:58 to go in the game. Columbus going for the 4th and 12 from the 28. And it is do or die. This is your game. This is like your onside kick. Snap. Dallas coming on the blitz. Oh, this is a terrible play. What are we doing? Chris.
That was an absolutely atrocious play call. That was awful.
Where was the route going?
Todd Haley, hang your head in shame for calling that. Offensive line, hang your head in shame because you blocked for crap.
Where was that play even go? Okay, so he gets knocked off. He got knocked off
Why
of
are we
his
sending
route.
3 guys
Deep.
20 plus yards deep and not sending anybody on any kind of a slant across the middle? Or that was stupidity. Let's call it stupidity.
Oh, that was a fumble.
Did Day drop the ball?
That.
Was he already down?
The clock is ticking.
They're saying Day must have been down, I'm assuming.
Hard to see from that angle.
I think they're probably right. I don't see enough to overturn it otherwise. Oh! Is that his arm through there? Yeah.
That's not a fumble. He's down.
No, he's down.
Although hats off to the defensive end for trying.
Yeah, King Davion. I have no idea why they checked down to a running back there. The routes altogether are very perplexing to me. There's no reason they should have had 3 guys going 20 plus yards deep. There's no excuse for that. How you don't have at least one guy crossing underneath? If you want to send 2 out deep, that's fine. But have one crossing underneath at that 10 to 15 yard point where you can get something going, where you can just complete for a first down. The clock is still stopped for some reason.
Yeah, they were reviewing it. The one first down away from a win here for the going 3-0 for Dallas. Columbus will fall to 0-3 on the season. Had them, man. They played well.
Yeah.
At times. Again, the pick 6. That's your game.
Well, really, the 2 interceptions because they got points off the other interception as well.
Yeah, half their points come off turnovers. And defensively, they played. I mean, Dallas kind of played into Columbus's hands defensively there with throwing the football so much. But Columbus ended up spending that last time out, Chris. So it is literally first down in football game. Oh, he got hit in the backfield. Well, they're not dying here. Sets up a.
We need Danny Bateman out there. I need the ball, Danny.
3rd and 6. They're just going to set this up to go for a field goal, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what you almost don't just take a knee.
Yeah, well, then you're going to give Columbus a chance to do a Hail Mary.
Well, no, on 3rd down, I'm saying go out there, just take the knee on 3rd.
Yeah, you want to spend a little bit.
And you got another 45 seconds.
Spend a little clock getting.
Well, they're down to 3 seconds now.
They got
to delay a game or have to take a timeout.
Timeout. Yeah, they got to spend their last timeout.
Now, see, I don't think I would have done that. I would have just stepped back, taken the knee, ran another 45 seconds off, called your timeout, and then kicked the field goal after that. Because at that point, you're only going to give them the kickoff opportunity left. You're going to squib that. You know, I'm going to sit here, Eric, and I know I don't. And I'm running my mouth like I do. I know I don't. But I feel sometimes like I know more than these guys who are coaching these teams.
Well, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback, right? I mean, that's essentially what we're doing in live time is Monday morning quarterbacking. I'm sure when they had that,
some of it seems so obvious. That's the bad part.
I'm sure that 4-12 play that they had set up there sounded a lot better than what it executed as. But
I don't understand not having at least one, if not 2, safety valves, though.
Yeah, have someone come back.
I also don't understand why you don't keep that running back in as a extra blocker and then release him if the quarterback needs that.
Well, that's because that's who the play was going to. All right, they hand the football off. Again, they're going backwards here. Now this is all of a sudden a long field goal, but yeah, there's a three,
There's a
4 second
4 second.
difference.
As long as they get it in the air, it may run off the clock.
Yeah. Or do you run another play? Take the snap, run straight backwards,
Run straight
right?
backwards and slide.
And slide after 0. I don't think they're kicking the field goal here.
I think they're going to take the delay of game and punt it. Oh, they can't punt.
There's your delay of game. 3 seconds to go in this football game. What? This is simple. This is so easy,
Is there a
Chris.
clock runoff rule with the? Yeah, you're just going to hand the guy the ball or
No, you
run
take the
backwards.
snap and you throw the football in the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
That's it. Ball
They
game.
did add a second back to the clock.
So the final is going to be 28-23 unless there's a miracle, unforeseen miracle here, like a bad snap or something. But even then, you're going to have to run it all the way back for a touchdown. There's not going to be enough time left on the clock. So, yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're either going to hand it off or they're going to throw it in the back of the end zone. Yep, they're going to run it, and there's the throw, and it goes out of bounds, and that's your football game. 28-23. Columbus does cover, however, if you were bidding the betting.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Eric. This does bode for what might be maybe a closer contested contest than what we might think come Friday in Columbus.
Yeah, Friday night, man. I don't count us out, dude. We outplayed them in a lot of ways. Statistically, again, the turnovers kill us, but I don't know. Give us a week to make the adjustment, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check us out over on our main channel, the OHIO podcast, Buckeyes over there, man. Tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, former Buckeye Joe Brown will be with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about Ted Ginn Jr. We're going to talk about all the offensive line, spring ball. So that'll be tonight over there. And then we'll be back Friday night here. At least 2 of us will. I don't know. Maybe not. We have the tailgate the next day.
Yeah, and we got to be up early for that.
Yeah, so DK might have to do this one with someone else. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see y'all later. Have a good night, everybody, and go Aviators.